drum sets. I mean, the rest of the staff can sit
We're
on
gonna clear the stage a bit.
Yeah, you can leave it on, honestly.
Alright. I gotta have to quit out.
It's taking me ages to join us over.
Alright, so Q&A.
Do you want to bring the music in there?
Oh yeah, is that still going?
Let's go.
Oh, it's muted.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I put 10 everything on. Can we ask questions in Discord chat? I'll probably be periodically switching between both. If you're not able to get on Minecraft, I might periodically questions from Discord, but it's gonna be a lot easier for me to do them from thingy, from Minecraft.
So I'm assuming we're gonna go to the
Talent show.
yeah, talent show area.
Talent show's got a good stage.
Yeah.
Set up some things that look like tables.
Like yeah, that's true. We can put like an actual.
Make it like professional looking.
Wait, can you mind if I'm just gonna move the?
Yeah, let's make it look
leave
kind of
leave
like
everything else because.
kind of like a Q&A thing that you see at one of those conventions.
Yeah, I don't know. Dude. Look, I was just making
like a panel. No, it's like a.
Like a panel?
Wait, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah, panel.
Yeah, you do. I don't know. I was gonna do like a little
I mean,
couch
I was
thing.
thinking
like on
like
TV
a
show.
Don't
table
follow
or
Pandafish, appreciate it.
something, but
Like this.
like a table like this.
Oh no.
No? Oh, okay.
Everyone's got different ideas of what it's gonna look like.
Like this, and then we put the chairs behind it.
Okay,
Yeah.
This is bothering me the whole time. Does this pattern in the background say anything?
What?
There's like these little thing. It looks like it's.
It doesn't say anything.
Okay.
You're
I kept trying to read it. Well, because there's this line here and I was like an H. And I was like,
No.
oh, does it say
Oh,
something?
no.
It's like hello. It's like a hidden word on the wall.
Hello.
Let me just do. I'm gonna do one quick ad everyone.
Okay,
Because this is
can I?
something people might actually wanna. I'll put it in.
Wrong chat. Wrong chat.
I
job.
didn't. No, thank you.
I'm gonna put signs down.
That. I always screw that up. Yeah, there we go. So then it's like I sit here. Yeah. This looks nice.
And we can sit in the middle.
Well, like how many? Okay, how many here? 1, 2, 3,
Okay, I got
4,
Discord up on the left.
6, 7, 8.
And
Okay.
That's
That should be enough.
The other way around.
Is Tori gonna show up or is she done
Oh,
with
these
everything?
kind of things.
I think
Yeah.
I was asleep.
No.
I know. I know you're
yes.
talking about now. Yeah, you're talking about like the actual like.
Yeah, like when you get
yeah,
like
the
a
big
panel.
panel
and all
thing.
that,
Yeah, okay.
and
I was
you, like,
thinking.
sit
I was thinking
down.
more like the TV kind of
Oh.
interview
Oh,
thing. Like it's like the little
the
couch.
View or like Ellen
You got like the
DeGeneres or
couch
something.
on one side and the person sits in
Yeah.
the chair and like they're all sitting around like the kind of
Well, no,
Mr.
that's
Sam's
talk
style.
show. That's.
What is your favorite color of the alphabet? I would have to say J.
Oh, yo, I like this song.
You.
Freaking
So-
Xeno. Was it Xenogenesis? I think that's what it is. Freaking fat rat.
Your name's hard to
Weird.
spell.
That's awkward.
Yeah,
They
turn
have
this
like little
up, sorry,
names
I
in
like
front of them.
Oh wait,
Okay.
fix reading.
There you go.
Dino, you're in my seat.
I know
take
you're
out
in
my-
this.
Oh,
seat.
sorry. Wait, does everyone have their own sign?
Apparently there's
Yeah.
seats.
I'm
You could have
gonna
put
be-
me
I'm
on
gonna
the end.
Why are you
Yeah.
way over there? No,
That's
I
not
don't
wrong.
Put me on
Go.
the
You're
end.
here now. You're here now.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, that's good.
There we go. Cool.
Perfect.
I can't. So I got.
We have people just a little bit moment in case anyone else wanted to hop on and ask questions.
Should probably
Yeah,
change
To
this
activate
thing.
voice chat and there's no voice, you'll be asking something. If I have a voice on, people are gonna get like super crowded.
You could do push to talk.
Oh, you could.
Still, people are gonna start pushing.
Oh.
Blah, blah, blah.
Let me just skip. See, we don't
Oh
need
my
to go to
goodness.
conventions. We don't need like a BPX.
Yeah. Some people are getting the. Some people I think are just getting Guild Wars for the rank. They're not actually planning on playing it.
Mhm.
Someone's like, I got Guild Wars, give me the rank. I'm like, okay. I gave it to him. I don't know if I was.
Thanks for following,
Um,
Legend Snowball. Appreciate it.
Oh,
Can you
Thomas.
guys? I'm gonna
Bye,
be pulling.
Thomas.
Wait.
Bye.
Oh.
Oh. Okay, there we go.
First, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
taking questions from the PPG server first. Then I'll kind of switch over to Discord a little bit. So, if you have actual, yeah, you can start asking questions now. So just ask anything. It doesn't have to be BPS. It could be literally whatever. We already answered that question. No one knows.
No, this one's a different one.
What's your favorite letter from the? Oh, what's your favorite letter from the rainbow? It's equally unanswered.
What?
Well, I saw a question on Discord actually. Can you go back to doing Skyward Saturday? I used to always watch and play. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Last summer when I ended it, I was hoping to come back to next summer because one of the reasons we kind of stopped it is it kind of got when summer ended, people were having a hard time showing up and attending, and the viewers went down. We were gonna do a Skywars Saturday this summer. However, I feel like Skywars kind of lost its shine, and it kind of got replaced by like Bed Wars. Bed Wars kind of became like the new Skywars. In fact, I think Bed Wars is more popular now than Skywars.
It's like double.
What about like
Yeah,
Bed
it's like
Wars?
double. So then,
Yeah.
yes, then the idea was like, oh, let's do Bed Wars. The problem is, what was cool about Skywars Saturday was like everyone could get involved, which I think like doing Mega, I have everyone show up at once, and there's nothing like that for Mega. However, what's kind of interesting is Hypixel just came out with a big kind of update for YouTubers now. We can create our own like custom parties.
Yeah.
And that
We were
might
using that just
yeah,
before this.
that might kind of make it more possible to start doing something. I don't know if I do Skywars. And on top of that, one of the admins who was responsible for that big update posted on his Twitter if we had any more suggestions for YouTubers. And I left him a suggestion, which I don't know if it'll get done. It's just kind of hopeful thinking. I was hoping there could be a feature where we can fit more people than the max player size into games. Because I know that's possible. Because a long time ago I played with one of the old admins. He played a Walls game of 100 players back before Mega Walls came out. So it is possible to do it. It's just if they're going to give us the option to do that, I'm not sure if they'll let us set up to 100 or not. But if I could do something like that, yeah, I'd do like 100 player farm hunts, 100 player Walking Dead. That'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Could you make an animation? Just patrons? And that's kind of how most of them are, honestly. But the thing with patrons is we always try to put them in, as much as we can. But what comes first is always like the story and the characters that we need for that story. So we usually, it's like Arby and Derp and the Old Man and like the actual characters that are doing the story, and then the patrons we just fit in however much we can. Sam's team. Okay, I'm trying to look between both. Why do you want to move to Canada? Everyone knows the US is better, and Canada doesn't exist. Canada doesn't exist.
The world
that's
is flat.
actually kind of why I want to move to Canada. There's a lot of different reasons to go into that. I could do a whole. I'm not going to answer that question simply because it's going to take too long to answer. There's a whole lot of reasons why we're moving to Canada. Short answer is it's convenient for us right now in time. It's
Who pressed create Discord server to create the Discord server?
Okay.
I did. I
Yeah,
pushed it
Thomas.
for months and months to make it, and then it.
What is your main objective with dungeons? The main objective,
Dungeons?
honestly, was just for fun. They're pretty cool. It gives people a lot of stuff to do. I mean, it mainly came down from when I first started I started doing events on this server, where I was trying to do like weekly events. And then Mark was like, "Oh, you should, if you want to do events, you should do something like a dungeons plugin, where rather than having to create stuff every single week, you can just create a dungeon and let people run it as much as they want." Animators. We're going to bring more main characters, like this Dark Parabine. Yeah, there'll be more characters. I mean, there'll be more. It says I'm AFK. I'm really not.
Why did you set yourself to AFK?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, there'll be more characters. Like Thomas already put. What was the name of the dude, the green hair guy in yours?
Lobster?
Mobster. Yeah, there's always just kind of characters that show up that we need. I mean, things like Reverie, obviously, you're going to have their own cast of characters with names and stuff. I mean, Songs of War is going to have an entirely new cast of everything, pretty much. Yeah. So the things that have like the voice acting, like Reverie and Songs of War, will have tons of new characters. And then, what?
What?
You're an elite.
This
Wait,
Randall's
what?
an elite.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
You just noticed that?
Oh, that's cool. That's
What?
cute.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
You never noticed that.
What?
Are you guys LGBTQ plus supporters? Yeah, I guess. Sure. I mean, we don't like publicly go out, yeah, we're supporters, yeah. But yeah, we're certainly not anti or anything. You guys come up with Songs of War, and why do you go along? One thing I'm trying not to. We did have a QnA not too long ago. I'm trying not to re-answer all the stuff that I answered in the old QnA, but I will kind of go over a little bit. Songs of War was always kind of when I was doing my. I don't know. First of all, actually, question to you guys, to the people watching this: how many people here have actually seen Rise of the Spartans? Say yes or no if you have or have not.
No.
I have.
I imagine it's gonna be honestly a lot of no's.
I have never actually. I should watch it.
It's
though.
mostly just like
How I found BPS.
People actually, okay, yeah, exactly. So, for those of you who don't know, Rise of Spartans was the biggest Halo Machinima thing I ever did. Is honestly is the thing that got our channel big noticed in the first place. And if you were to watch it, you'd see kind of a very different style of storytelling than our current animations. It was more like cinematic, a lot of characters, big dramatic story. And I'd always wanted to do the next thing after that. When I was making that, I made Rise of Spartans kind of in the Halo world, the Halo universe. And while I was making it, I was like, oh man, I'm feeling really kind of restricted by this pre-existing universe. Whatever I do next is going to make my own original universe. So that kind of became the inspiration for Songs of War. I was like, oh, my next thing is going to be a universe that I made up. Everything's going to be kind of like my own species, my own world, the name of the world, my own map. Yeah, my own lore and everything. Yeah. So that was kind of beginning of Songs of War.
Also, there is 2 different people on the stage.
Oh, are there?
Yeah, there's people over there on stage. It's like, okay.
Oh, whatever. Over the piano man. Did any of you watch Avatar, the TV show, when growing up? I did not.
I watched it.
I've never.
I watched it, but I don't remember
I
it.
recognize it though. I know what it is.
Oh, someone says they don't know much stuff about Songs of War. Well, I kind of just explained it. I mean, it's just this big
It's a
Minecraft
massive fantasy series.
It's kind of like, it's similar to Reverie, just a little bit bigger. The episodes can be a little longer. There's a little more characters, and the world itself is being built all fresh and to scale and everything.
Yeah.
Imagine something like Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, Skyrim.
Yeah,
like
practically all the big fantasy.
Yeah, just imagine something like that in like a Minecraft animation series form.
Yeah.
With like.
Trust me, I know about it.
Why is my favorite color not pink? Why did you say that?
Why?
Are you just? Is that just because
Have
the
you read
pajama
the
flash
particular-
with the pink and seafoam?
To join the core BPS
Someone
team,
keeps
do you put
writing.
age and country into view? Not really.
Because of the body acting. Oh, yeah, pink wasn't my favorite. It's kind of like the goof is the pajama color.
All right, for everyone goes pink. Last person gets kicked.
Also, if you're gonna ask questions in Discord, you have to tag me. I'm not really looking at Discord as much. Have you read the
You're gonna
book?
get so spam.
Oh yeah,
But still, it's fine.
yeah.
Arby, why are you moving Canada? Same thing. Because someone asked earlier. It's hard to explain. When we do the BPC or BPS or whatever the third channel, if we ever do that, I may do a whole thing on that and kind of why Canada works nicely for us and kind of the reasons.
Yeah.
I don't really want to live in the US. I don't know if you decide that one mod will stay. Choose one mod. I'm not gonna do that. It's like choosing your children. one mod. Will staff applications open again? I imagine so. We may at least open 1 or 2 more mods up when we reset the server, because every time there's a server reset, there's a flood of, like, oh, my stuff got stolen or someone built in my house. Will you collaborate with other big animators to make a very good animation? What does that mean? Like we can't make good ones without collabs? Collaborations to me never really seem like if you're just trying to network and hang out with people, yeah, I guess. But it's like we can pretty much already make our animations on our own. And if you collaborate with other people, then you're kind of stuck with like, okay, well, whose animation is this? Who comes up with the idea, et cetera, et cetera. I guess we go water home. My throat's actually still kind of sore from the trivia. Frogzilla asks, what's my favorite movie? My favorite movie would probably be the James Cameron Avatar 2009 one.
Very good.
That was the movie that like a lot of people made fun. It's one of those movies I feel like people either love it or hate it. Some people love that movie.
I really
liked
it.
A lot of people were just like criticizing it.
Yeah.
For me, that was just a really
I thought it was really
engaging
good.
movie.
Yeah.
And it really kind of changed like my whole perception of movies. If when I saw that, I was like instantly wanting. There's the only movie I've ever seen, and then instantly when it came out, I was like, I need to see this again, like right now. I kept having to go back. I watched that movie in like 5 times in theaters.
Just like holy crap.
Someone's asking questions for Thomas and Sam, but neither. Looks like it's just Thomas. Sam's not
Well,
here.
Thomas is here.
Asking,
What's
I
the
guess, for
question?
Thomas, will you have any other big projects after your current ones, like Songs of War or Reverie? So for you.
I probably wouldn't have a Songs of War.
Yes. So
I did have like one idea for a series, but it's kind of fallen down the drain now.
Sam actually is working on something that's not going to be nearly as big as Songs of War or Reverie, but it is like a
It's
a
like
voice
a mini
acted.
series.
Yeah, it's gonna be a series kind of thing, but only like 3 parts.
Yeah.
But
Will
so
I
kind of a mix
mention
between
name?
something like
Science
well,
fiction.
you'll see hopefully at 1 million, and if anyone has any questions about that, you can ask Let me just kind of get to these Discord questions real quick. Are we gonna do more Mindplex minigames? Probably not, honestly. Since I'm probably not gonna do hardly any more minigames in general. I'm hoping just can do Animation Life and Sonic Tour. Since you kind of teased it earlier, what are you guys' big plans is for the next? Oh, okay. Yeah, he was asking about the server reset. Might as well do that. The CGI doesn't hold up that well. Are you kidding me? I don't think anything has beaten the CGI to this day, 8 years later.
Nothing. CGI.
Avatar was way ahead of its time.
Yeah.
We started.
Yeah.
There's a reason they laughed during the Oscars when they were talking about the CGI as best special effects, and they kind of like chuckled because everyone knew.
Yeah.
That
the
movie
CGI on that felt was
way ahead of its
amazing.
time.
Yeah, it was amazing.
As for the server, trust me, I'm not going to trust you here. Just tell me an example of something that has better, and then I'll maybe start considering it. So server stuff about server reset is, yeah. So one of the main reasons we needed to honestly needed to reset. We're hoping we keep using them for a while, but the problem was about a month ago. A lot of you would have noticed you all lost your money because we ran out of hard drive space on the server. The server only, by default, we only get 5 gigs, which is like nothing. So we extended it and paid a little more money to get up to 15 gigs. The problem is the server, the way it's set up, we don't have like an autosave plugin, but the server host automatically saves a backup every 12 hours, and it saves up to 3 backups. And after a 3rd backup, it just starts overwriting older backups. Is that just means the bot getting a little louder? The song's a little loud.
Slightly, yeah. Let's turn that down just a
I'm just
little.
gonna turn it down on my end. What is it set to now? Like 5?
Turn it down to like.
There, turn it. Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
5,
That's better.
a little bit better.
Yeah.
So long story short, we ran out of hard drive space because it tried to do an auto save when it filled up the hard drive space with that extra auto save, and then everything got like corrupted. It didn't have enough space to like save anything, so it couldn't save any data, and all the money got corrupted. So everyone lost all their money. And then right after that, we had another glitch with both the dungeon and the last trivia. We don't know what was actually the source. We had a weird problem where a lot of people were getting stuck in either God mode or adventure mode, and then we had to kind of fix it all. So there's a lot of people running on the server in God mode, which is really messed up. So we kind of need a reset, honestly, just because it's like kind of unfixably broken at the moment. So the new host, Mark, recommends has unlimited hard drive space. So we won't run into that problem again, and now hopefully we won't have the problem people getting stuck in the wrong game modes. We've kind of like learned a few things from the server that'll hopefully prevent problems in the next one. There's more to that I wanted to mention. As far as plans, I guess, just now that we kind of know like what things we use, what things we like. Oh, people like the musical chairs and the spleef. We're gonna kind of design it so like all that stuff is kind of right at spawn. So when you want to go play spleef, you just go to spawn, like run over to the spleef arena. We'll kind of have it more designed to do like the events and stuff, and then of course we'll be releasing more dungeons. I'm taking a drink. I'm seeing questions coming in Discord. Let me finish this question first, though. It's kind of an important one, especially for the people on the server. One of the other things Mark is planning is kind of interesting. We're hoping to do something where we kind of give people a little bit of a boost who had played on this server. Because that's one thing. That's one of the big problems about resetting. It's like, oh, I lost all my stuff. I have to start all over from scratch. So one of the ways I thought about kind of counteracting that a bit is we're going to do some cool thing where for like the last few, you may have already noticed in the server, there's already things starting to happen. I won't go into detail too much because I don't want to spoil it, but Mark has this cool kind of like story planned. That's kind of like an actual like story of why the server is going to get reset and why we have to kind of move. There's going to be a few methods of earning this unique type of currency at the end of this server, and then if you have that currency, it will carry over into the next world, and then you'll be able to spend that currency at the beginning of the next world to get little like bonus stuff at the beginning. So you don't have to start the new world with just like a stone pickaxe. You can start with like, oh, if you got some of this currency from the last server, you can quickly go redeem like an iron pickaxe or a speed potion. That way you can go explore the world really quickly, or some more food. So it's basically kind of like things to help you start the server a little more and get like a head start, which will be kind of interesting, as well as oh, he logged back on in like the lava pits maybe.
Oh, what?
Willy Bear logged on and then died, so I imagine he
right.
logged into the trivia, or the trivia where his lava there were. Hold on.
Inventory's probably still on trivia.
Yeah, I think that's true. We just turn that off, and all the time frozen stuff off.
Yeah.
Star Wars or Star Trek? Star Wars.
Star Wars.
I'm never really into Star Trek.
Star Wars.
There's like one Star
I like
Trek I
Star
liked, and it was the one where they went back to save the whales.
Oh, what the heck? That one?
That was great. That one was funny.
I thought Wrath of Khan was amazing.
The original or the?
Wrath of Khan. Like,
I just
second
thought the old. I always thought the Star Treks were kind of cheesy, but what was good about the whale one is they recognized it was cheesy, so they just tried to make it funny.
yeah.
And that's what was
I mean,
great.
I thought that Wrath of Khan, though, like, if you ever get the chance to watch that one, that
think
was
I've seen
probably
it,
the
I just-
best one.
I don't know
that
what
they've
it
made.
is. Minecraft or boat? Are those two things mutually exclusive? Have you ever seen a kangaroo or a koala, maybe in a zoo? What's your
No.
favorite Lord of the Rings character? Oof. It's been a while since I've watched Lord of the Rings. That's a hard question.
Gollum.
No.
That's hard.
That's hard. It's been a while since I've watched Lord of the Rings. I don't want to be generic, just be like Gandalf. I don't think Gandalf probably wasn't my favorite character. Honestly, I liked Faramir. Boromir's brother. One in the third movie, and a little bit in the second. If you watch the extended edition, his character is like developed so much better
Fido
in the
or
extended.
Derp.
Oh yeah,
What?
Wait,
that's a hard one. Yeah,
Oh.
Fido
Fido
or
or
the.
Fido.
Yeah,
Fido.
actually, it is interesting. Fido was
Fido's
always
nice.
like
Yeah, I'd say Fido.
Fido was my
Stormtrooper.
first.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because I won't even get into that. Never mind.
No.
I was gonna say Fido and Usku were like the little group couple kind of thing that I always shipped, and it was funny because Usku's like my character. So in a way, I was always kind of like indirectly shipping myself with Fido, especially after Fido was revealed to be a girl.
I can
It was
think
really-
of the Fido music playing right now.
Could you please read the BPS mini-series? Probably not. The podcast we usually just kind of go over topic stuff.
Mhm.
What would you like to do with dungeons in the future? That's more of a question towards Mark. I'm not really managing much of the dungeons anymore. One thing that is gonna be cool about the dungeons is a lot of them are actually like sorry, if you have a question, just keep asking them. The chat moves pretty quick. I'm also looking between both of them. But wait until I'm at the end of a question. If you're asking a question while I'm answering one, I'm not going to, be able to start the next one. But yeah, Mark has some cool dungeon stuff. He has some of them are like a series, so it's like you do one, and like the first one had the mysterious voice that talks to you. So some of the other ones will have dialogue. You go through, you meet characters, work your way through like a big kind of series. That's one thing that's gonna be interesting. Are you friends with Slime Cow, or did you just put him in animation? I just put him in there. Of those people in that video, I've only really talked to Ninja Turtle T before. I've never talked to Element, never talked to Slime Cow. Blue Monkey followed me on Twitter. Freddy Saul, Freddy Saul actually is a Patreon. Freddy Saul, I think, is a Redstone patron for us, which is weird.
Oh, nice.
Have you
that's
talked to
cool.
Bravo? Yeah, for a little bit on Twitter, mostly just replied on Twitter.
Bravo used to be in the Discord.
What is your favorite 3D film? Probably Wall-E. It's one of my favorite.
Wally.
film.
I've only ever watched that like once.
Wow.
My-
I only watched it in the cinema, I think.
What would be your favorite Star Wars movie?
That-
Star Wars is
Watch
the thing
BPS
else.
podcast.
Yeah,
That
I was
is
just about to
hard, to
say,
be
yeah.
honest.
You want to watch the podcast? Every podcast topic we seem to get on Star Wars somehow.
Mhm. I've noticed.
Episode 1.
Yeah. What do you think about examinations? He was denied by BPS by 50k subs. Well, I think the reason I talked to Examination, and the thing I told him is, I was going to ask him like why he wanted to do BPS, because he had 50k subs. As like, the way I saw it, most people were, who wanted to join BPS were people who they were making animations, so they weren't getting anywhere. So they kind of wanted, a channel where they could kind of spread their stuff better. Examination was already honestly pretty popular. So I was kind of like, what did he have to gain? And I kind of talked about him, and also his style was kind of different. He has very kind of, what do you call it, like the classic kind of cartoon style, the more Slime Cow, whereas ours are kind of more rigid.
Realist.
And, yeah,
Yeah.
we go for more the kind of everything's always kind of in motion. Everything's kind of like stuff where everything like has like the kind of bubbly, which is fine. It's just very different. I think it would have kind of stood out. Is anyone else planning to leave BPS? I don't know, Thomas.
Okay, bye.
Stem. It's really hard. I'm gonna go back to you. I'm gonna go back to the Minecraft questions for a bit. Dino, when did you join? Question to Dino, when did you join the BPS group?
BPS crew, I joined about like a couple months ago. Like it was actually really recent.
Yeah, it's 1st
Right.
of April.
It was like, what was it, February? No.
No, it's
Was
first.
it the 1st of April? Was it really the
1st
1st
of
of April?
1st of April
I
is when
think
me
it
and
was like
Dino
April or
became
something.
mods.
Was that
I
like
think
the
it
same
was,
day
because
we
I think we're-
hired?
Weren't we gonna
No,
make that
as
joke?
well?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
me
It
and
was after
Dino.
that stream with the what was it?
I was also
Oh,
dog sitting at that time, so yeah.
I think I remember it being the first because I don't know. I was like, we made a joke where it's like, "Oh, you're mod now, April Fool's prank or something."
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I actually was. I'm like, oh.
Arby, name an object that can pass through the green glass door. Oh my god, we're not doing that again.
Oh no.
God.
Oh yeah.
Thomas, which part of Britain are you from? You don't have to answer that if you don't want to.
Norfolk, the farming country.
The farming. Could we do a fan
Well,
animation and we'll be pushing your channel? That's one thing we were talking about a little bit about. If we do kind of like a community
Kind of had that before.
fun channel, huh?
I mean,
Yeah,
Pixel.
oh, that's true. If you, I don't want to say this because if I say this, then you'll get offended if it's not. But if you make a really good one, it might go straight to BPG like Pixels. That's not to say yours isn't good if it doesn't get accepted. The main thing we look for is, same thing we look for in future animators. You have to be able to make animations that could fit on our channel and wouldn't stand out as being like, oh, this guy obviously is new. It's kind of, that's, we don't want that to be the case. But we are hoping to make the other channel where we just kind of have just kind of like backspasm, but not so dumb, where we just kind of like the channel for things like updates and podcasts and fan things. So we might have like a channel there where we have things like we want to do like an animation collab kind of thing where everyone makes little parts of a thing and puts on there or something. There's so many questions coming in, it's hard to, I'm probably gonna miss a lot of these. You have to just kind of again wait until I'm mostly done answering one. Will there be another game night? No, not a Halo game night, that's for sure.
Game night 11. Let's do it.
Oh.
Let's go, guys.
Yeah, let's do it.
I don't have any of my Xboxes anymore. I sold my Xbox One and then my 360 disc tray kept breaking. I kept fixing it, but it kept breaking again. Then I'd scratched up. It scratched up my Mass Effect, and then I'm. And then I'm like, okay, it's time to get rid of my Xbox once it scratched my Mass Effect.
If they bring reach
So
to
that's
the
it.
maybe, but they
How do
won't.
you
So.
make the credits of animations? Which part of the credits? There's lots of parts of the credits.
I think he means like the Blocking Dead.
The Blocking Dead ones,
Credits.
or like the outro, or like the text stuff.
Oh,
Will you be
of
making a
animations.
particle tutorial?
Yes, Arby. When? Everyone look at
That's-
Arby right now.
That's one of the things that also we were talking about, maybe moving tutorials over to like the new kind of channel. The other channel is supposed to be just kind of like an everything else, but not stupid channel. Backspasm is the everything else that is stupid, like home videos and weird stuff. Like, no, I have some things on there, like old school projects I did. So if you actually want to see some old school face reveals, you can go on that channel, like from 5 or 6 years ago.
I was like, what?
Yeah, that was weird.
I was like, what
Let's
the-
get the link.
No, don't link it. Oh, God.
Oh lord.
Backspasm Studios.
Just type yeah.
And the reason for that is actually because in one of my old Halo Machinimas, I typoed the beginning where it said Black Plasma Studios. I put Back Plasma Studios, and it was in the actual machinima. It says created by Back Plasma Studios, and I didn't notice it till later. The video came out, and I went back. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I typoed the
Like, oh
name.
lordy.
So then we kind of made a whole channel based on.
Ronald's like, I remember.
How do you get that good starter kit? Oh, hold off on that. The doors, like that's something that Mark will be announcing in a little bit. It's going to be on the new currency, and also the people who won some events today are actually going to get a little bit of that currency as well. There'll be a few ways to collect that currency at the end of this server, and then that'll be carried over to the next one.
Thomas, you're spazzing out.
Yeah, he's spazzing.
Oh, to make a animation less robotic and more human, this is kind of hard. It's hard to. Well, first of all, I've never really taken much classes in like animation. The class I took on animation was a lot more on like the technical stuff, just on like how to use some of the software bits, and it was a very short class. There's things I just kind of like picked up, but then there's also, I feel like there's kind of like I mentioned earlier, there's kind of two types of animation. There's animation where it's more cartoony, where it's not really realistic, but things are like very exaggerated, and everything's very like move, and that's kind of like the way Slamcow does it. The way I always find is that, I think I mentioned it in the old tutorial series, I might have mentioned the new one as well. I always find like just keeping things kind of moving. I noticed in a lot of amateur animations where people getting started. I see a lot of things where people like, you know, Steve walks up, then he holds completely still. He'll like move his head right, move his head left, you know, but all the while he's moving his head, the rest of his body is holding perfectly still. So for me, I always notice that like right away. If you see the body just stiff, that's unreal. If he turns to the right, you want to see his head move. You want to see the upper body move a little bit. You might want to see the arms kind of move out a tiny bit. And you also don't want to like line everything up. Everything doesn't start and stop at the same time. Like if you were to like fall down, your character doesn't just hit down and land flat like a belly flop. You kind of land, you kind of roll a little bit, so everything kind of offsets a bit, which is kind of hard to explain over here. How many BPS animators are you willing to accept? Honestly, like, if there's a whole bunch of people that were really interested and really passionate about it, there's not really like a limit. I don't want to
20 animators.
I mean, yeah,
20
animation a day.
animators.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Get that moolah.
Excuse me. Are you planning to play Roblox? No, not really. I don't think I'll be playing. I don't play that
I
many
don't
games,
even
honestly.
like
I usually only play like one game at a time. But yeah, one thing. As back to the animator question, I don't ever really want to get to the point where it's like a director telling a big group of workers what to do and they go work on it. And I feel like a lot of kind of bigger companies and even people like Ruby, well, not people like Rooster Teeth on projects like Ruby, it's kind of just now it's become like, you know, the leads, and then they have this huge room full of animators that goes and animates this huge series, which is cool. But I feel like it kind of takes away like that personal, you know, one person hand touched made this whole series kind of thing or something. It may come to that a little bit later, but I'm hoping we'll keep it more like one person per project. Well,
Yeah.
particle tutorial. If I do a particle tutorial, it'll probably be on the new channel. We'll probably be making tutorials on that channel. Are you ever going to do a face reveal?
That could be like in a few weeks.
Yeah, maybe.
That new channel.
Yeah. We need to hold like a conference to talk about
Yeah.
like if we actually want to do. The problem is we have an idea to make that channel so we can do other things like vlogs and stuff, but the question is, are we going to actually do any of those? You know, like we hardly even do any BPG stuff, but we might. It'll probably be like BPG where there's no schedules or anything. We just, when we have stuff we want to do, we just put it there.
Black Plasma extras.
Sounds alright.
Plasma poop.
What?
It's all the crap you don't want to watch on BPS. So yeah, part of the tutorial there. Face reveal, I'll probably do one around 1 million. I've done one before. I even got this camera so I could do face cam while live streaming. I just personally thought it didn't really add anything to live stream. I mostly just kind of stood there with a blank face on the whole live stream, so I didn't really do that again. When the first episode of Songs of War comes out, are you thinking about doing a Q&A? Oh yeah, I'm sure I'll be doing lots of like Q&As and featurettes and stuff. Who are some people you think you could feature? People you could in the future. Wait. Oh, I don't know who could become a BPS animator. It's hard. In the time since we've opened up the role for BPS animator, no one has gotten it. The only person who's actually joined was Eagle, and he didn't even really apply. He was just kind of like a friend, and he hung out in housing with us a bunch. He kept like showing up to the videos, and then
Pixel was close, but he didn't want to in the end.
Pixel didn't want to.
I guess it's a meaning by like anyone that they think really
It's the main thing. Honestly, if anyone really wanted to be an animator, you really could if you had the motivation and the interest. If you really, really want to be an animator, you absolutely have everything you need to become an animator. We have the tutorials there. If you watch the tutorials, if you start practicing, start making them, you know, in your free time, you just start putting little animations together. If you're really serious about it, you know, you could become an animator. People say you're not good enough, but yeah, I mean, not good enough now. We'll keep working at it. Can any of us become a render farmer? Yeah, actually, we do need some more render farmers still. As long as you have like a 1070, 1080, maybe.
Yeah, if you have a very strong
or any
graphics card.
Yeah. Well, if you want to private message me later about render farming, you can, because we do have a little render farming chat now on the Discord. Ben's asking about Steven Universe, and do you enjoy? Has anyone here seen it?
I have not seen that.
I have not.
I've watched Gravity Falls, so that's really good.
Oh, Nerf.
Disney song.
What's our favorite Disney song?
Disney song. Oh.
Frogs.
Seven.
Yeah, no, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
There we go.
Oh.
Frogzilla's
I'll go with
It's
that as
really
well.
hard. I have a lot of favorites, to be honest.
Frogzilla was asking when's voice auditioning for Songs of War coming out.
Oh.
That's a good question. That should be very soon. Dino sent me in her edits for the season 3, and I just heard back from the other guy. Apparently, the guy's not going to be able to get his edits in a little bit, which means we'll be doing
Wait, am I like the only
You're the only
left?
editor. Yep, you're the only editor who edited season 3.
Oh,
wow.
that's cool.
Yeah, which means it might need like a second sweep through when we're all done to have all the scope.
Yeah.
But at least now, me, you, Sam, the original writer, and then also I'm gonna pick up another. I haven't gone through the new writer applications.
Yeah.
I think Liz, you applied right away.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I'll probably.
Oh god,
release
Professor
it
T.
in the
Songs of War going to be released at the
no,
same time
hopefully
as
by
Half-Life.
Half-Life 3.
The Songs of War will come out even unless I die. It will come out.
Half-Life
never-
3 confirmed.
There's actually only one project ever. No, take it back. There's only 2 things ever since I started YouTube like 8 years ago that I never finished. One of them was the very first Halo stream I ever made, actually prior to the recruitment video. I started making it, and it was. I even knew it was bad. And I was like, I can't put this on. I'm just gonna just delete it. No, I finished Sub-Zero. Just got copyrighted. And the second thing was actually the very first Cone Combat I made before at the beginning. And then I had like some kind of technical problem where I started losing some stuff, and I just kind of didn't feel like finishing it. And no one really knew about it, so I deleted that. But other than that, everything I've ever started, I've always finished.
Wait,
And-
but it came out.
No, that I went back. That was like a year later. I went back to that idea.
Okay.
The original one was a little different. You got like, I didn't know how to do these masking, so I actually had like forged cones moving around and like chasing the guy, and it was weird. I was gonna say more to that though. So yeah, Songs of War will come out, and then as for voice acting, yeah, we just need to. We have the script all edited, but now we want to do one final pass of like the entire, thing. We're gonna have. Oh, that means I can also send it to the musicians as well. Yeah, they can read it. So
Yeah.
it's basically me, the directors, the editors. We're all gonna do one final read over the whole thing, look for any possible way we can change and improve the script. Because once the writers get it, it's kind of too late really to change it unless we want to go do re voice acting, take retakes. That always gets awkward because if if a year from now we find out, oops, we want to improve this line, but then they sound a year older and they're using a different mic, and
Oh yeah.
so
yeah.
then it's gonna sound really different. Do you always use boost in your animations? Almost always, yes. It's very only in like
Boosh. Actually,
Because
Animals Part 3, I don't use a lot of boosh because of something.
yeah.
Well, there's a big energy dome.
Mhm.
I usually add a somewhat big amount of like when I'm doing renders, I usually add like a lot of boost.
GTX 960 won't probably be fast enough. Snowball.
Yeah.
Sorry, the Discord people aren't getting many answers. And also there's so many people on the server asking. It's hard to kind of go through all these at once. Will you recruit voice actors for Songs of War? Yes, we will.
We will.
Are you Alexander Hamilton? No.
Oh my god.
Can you make a
Cookie, are
series
you
on your
going?
personal channel where you criticize people's animations?
No.
No.
You criticize or like review. I still wouldn't do that. I'm
Yes, crew,
That's
all
not
of them.
the kind of person I am. Can one of the animators use my animator? Blender, I'd say. You might as well learn Blender. If you're
Yeah.
gonna be doing it. It's not that hard to learn. I have the series, tutorials and everything. Waters Nighthawk's never come on the server. I don't think he really enjoys Minecraft. I don't think he
Only
ever
to
really.
destroy mountains.
Yeah,
Well, there isn't why.
yeah. He just kind of plays one game.
Yeah.
He only
He
really
didn't
last summer
play
came on.
Minecraft when he made Book of Enchantment.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't even have a Minecraft account. In fact, did you know the Arby Nighthawk's account is not one he bought? It's actually my friend's account. And then when name changing came out, I asked my friend if we could name change it. And he was like,
really?
"Yeah, sure." So
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
So technically, my
awesome.
friend now is a YouTuber on Hypixel without even knowing it. If he ever logged on to his account one day, he'd be like, "Whoa, I'm a YouTuber on the server." It'd be kind of funny. For Thomas.
How did I become a BPS animator? I applied when Arby was hiring machinimators back in like August 2015.
What's the thing?
And I made one machinima in a year. Pug. And then when
Oh, yeah.
What was the thing
Pug.
when you first applied? What was the thing you said you wanted to start? It was like a Halo machine you wanted to start
It's like
making.
Spartan Arena, wasn't it?
No, before that even.
I don't even
when you
remember.
like you first. Mm,
Something
maybe
about
it was-
elite
maybe
or
it was when
something.
you used it. Yeah, like something was like I don't remember what it was. Way back in the day.
See, I scrapped that like a weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, but
Oh,
then
no,
when we
that was good.
moved, when we decided to quit Halo Machinima, I just learnt animation from scratch. It took me like a few
Nice.
months before I uploaded my first animation,
Hmm.
which was not Mineral Thief.
How far into that did you get? I remember like the first few
Got about
shots.
halfway.
I remember like the opening shot of him like laying in the bed, looking out the window or something. And that's it.
I got up to the cave scene, like halfway,
I
and
remember
then I just
CJ
quit.
tried doing Minecraft animation as well for a little bit, because we were
Yeah,
like
of course,
asking
that's-
him to like give us updates and stuff, and I just thought he didn't like it.
Yeah.
Thomas, are pugs your favorite types of dogs?
Of course.
What's the funnest thing you've animated? What do you mean by
Funny is or
No, I
funniest
think not
thing
fun.
done?
Like, what's the
The
most
funnest.
fun, most enjoyable thing? Like the most. I don't know. I feel like a lot of don't touch was honestly kind of fun for me, because there's a lot of just like weird, all the like the gravity stuff with people flying along. Yeah, it'd probably be a lot of don't touch. Although, I don't know, for me, I enjoy the ones that have like the story, the ones I get into, things like Songs of War, Rise of Spartans, those kind of big series. That's stuff I enjoy.
Yeah.
So for me, also Animation Life was one, because that was kind of closer to the things I like doing with like the big stories and drama, even though it's not nearly like what Songs of War will be. Does a good animation need to have a deeper meaning? Not really. Now you get into like
Not
meaning of art.
all of them.
Does art? I don't know.
I mean, not
if-
all animations need like. I mean, some do, but like not like. I don't know. Like just like yeah.
for me, art, as far as art goes, some people are always like, oh, art needs to have meaning and purpose and symbolism. For me, it's more like art is art as long as it kind of makes people have some sort of reaction.
Yeah.
Whether it's like something this is
Makes
pretty.
people
it's
like
pretty.
enjoy it.
Yeah, make something that makes
Yeah.
someone laugh. That's good. You don't need a meaning. If you can
Yeah.
just make someone laugh, that's an animation. Or if you can make someone get emotionally invested in a character and get sad when the character dies, that's
Yeah.
that doesn't have meaning. It's just people invested. What is your average time spent on each animation? That is a good question that I'll never have an answer to. I've always been curious, and I don't know. I don't think I want to know. And also, it's hard to judge that because, do you consider time spent, thinking about the animation, time spent, coming up with ideas, time spent finding music, it's really hard to consider how much is actually spent. For everyone playing instruments, I'll go first. I play piano, guitar. I played cello for a little while. I played a few different types of guitar, like acoustic, lead, and bass stuff.
I played drums for like 7 years.
I used to play the clarinet, but I stopped like after only a couple of months. So yeah.
I play
piano and sing. That counts.
Yeah,
I play the sing.
I play the
I play the
keyboards.
sing.
So I'm going on some Discord ones. Do you like Pizza Hut or Domino's more? What Pizza Hut? What type of animation do you like more, emotional or funny? For me, definitely emotional.
Same here.
It's good having little like funny bits here and there. The way I've always looked at things, this kind of is true back in the Halo days. Something that's funny is it's funny while you laugh and you might think about it later. But something that's emotional, I feel like sticks with you more. But I mean, that can be said with a good joke could stick with you for a long time too. But something that's emotional, I feel like, is something that will still be emotional, like a long time. And then you're like, oh man, I remember when that, when that thing I got hooked on. Do you mind if I roll need? What?
What?
I saw that question before and I didn't know what you mean. Will you need skin designers for Songs of War? Yes. We'll need a few more probably. Most of the skins are done by now. We actually did most of the skins way back in the very first wave. I think now we're almost done. Do you have any pets? I have a dog. I had a squirrel. We actually raised a squirrel for a while.
Oh, wait, really?
We cut down this tree. It's a weird story actually. We cut down a tree, and then like a squirrel nest came out of it. So then we put this, and it had the squirrel nest had like little baby squirrels in it.
Oh.
So then we put the little nest of the baby squirrels kind of out to the side, and then we kind of were watching it, and within like a few hours, like the mom came back, carried all the little babies up to like a new nest, and moved all the babies back up to the new nest. We're like, oh, that's cute. It's a good thing we put the nest out there, so we got the babies back. The next day, another baby fell out of that same nest, the new one, the new tree, and fell out. And then that one was about to get like attacked by some cats or something, so we brought it in. Then we were just kind of like feeding it and raising it, and it literally became like literally a pet squirrel. We let it out in the backyard, but it like would know us. We had a little cup of acorns. If we shake the cup, and you like you hear like the shaking, and then the moment later you see it coming down the tree, it'd come down and this little squirrel come down the tree, and we'd like hand feed it the acorns, and
that's
it was
cool.
very tame.
Yeah.
It got in the habit of it. It actually becomes so much weight in the front yard when I was like at school, and it'd be there in the front yard when I come in and wants food stuff.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried any form of non-3D animation? I actually have on my personal channel. I have a little 2D animation I created.
Oh yeah.
The hand-drawn one, the coffee animation. If you look at my personal channel,
Yeah,
there's
I've seen that.
coffee one.
Yeah.
That was a pain. Could you make a series on your
One-
personal channel where we send you our animations and you say what could be better? I've never been much in for like reviewing and critiquing. My friend and I used to have a long conversation on this, where it's like, if you tell people the things that's wrong with it, they just get offended, and if you just be nice and tell them, "Oh, it's great," then they don't learn. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation, which is why I just don't review. One of the things if you're interested in doing these kind of arts, any kind of art, honestly, you gotta just kind of figure out on your own what's good and bad. That's just kind of one of the own things you're gonna have to be able to recognize, like what you need to improve on stuff. Did you ever have a job before YouTube? I worked as a teaching assistant at my college, but not really before. YouTube came first, and then over like 3 years ago, I got a job as a teaching assistant for the modeling and animation classes.
Oh, that's cool.
Oz asks if you had one superpower, what would it be? I'll let you guys go first. Want to take some water?
Oh.
I would
That's
be
like-
I would
probably-
be a shapeshifter.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
I would probably go with like flight or something. I don't know, like fast flight.
That would be fun. That'd probably be the most fun.
Yeah.
Fly around.
Doing
like
like,
Superman.
yeah, like flipping in the air and all that. Yeah, that'd be cool.
I got my idea, but I'm gonna save mine to last because mine's kind of cheap.
I think I'm gonna probably go with Dino with Light.
Okay, mine would always be to have like control over time, because that kind of works as
Oh.
like a little bit of everything.
Alright, Doctor Who.
Because if you can,
Oh yeah, that's actually.
Reversing
if you
time and
pause
fixing the
time,
past.
then you're technically really speedy, because from other people's point, if you slow time down, then you're actually moving faster. So you're actually kind of like super speed. It's also like invisibility, because you can pause and then like go to where you need and no one will see you. You can also go back in time. If you go forward in time, and I don't know, it just seems like the most ideal. Being able to control time would be extremely like
You
overpowered.
could just go back in time like all
And
I
then
don't know how
you'll
it
be
works.
changing fate. And then we will know what
Except me on
happens when that
Skype.
happens.
I don't even use Skype anymore. Honestly, I don't.
Skype is dead.
Yeah.
I
can't
started
wait
having
to
to
chat
use
to
adding-
Discord.
Half the people that would add.
updated the other day.
Oh.
I can't wait for a
Looked
screen
completely
share.
different.
Everyone who's adding, I haven't logged on to my Arby 617 Skype in like a month and a half or 2 months. Everyone who's adding me was just like, at this, most people who already knew me just kind of talked to me on Discord. So people who were adding me were people who'd like searched up my name, and then they'd like add me to some huge group chat of YouTubers, and then they'd be like, "Oh, the YouTuber's here," and then they get all spammy, "Hey, buy my graphical effects stuff." And I'm like, "Oh my god, man!"
Yeah.
It happens
Spam
so many
my
times.
stuff.
I just decided to stop using it. What role in animation do you feel best at? I always enjoy things like the materials, lighting, and effects and stuff. It's the thing that, for me, I can kind of just look at it, see if it's good, play around with all the nodes, play around with the special effects and stuff. Professor T's question for kind of all of us: if animating or whatever job you do wasn't your dream job, what would it be?
What?
I think he's asking,
I think he's
like,
meaning like,
if
what
you
would your
didn't
job be
go
if
with
you don't have it?
animation,
Yeah.
what would you do instead besides it? I think that's what.
Yeah, if I well, okay for me.
No, I think it's literally like, well, doing this is
Professor
kind
T,
of
why
my
don't you clarify?
dream job.
Professor T, ask that question
Yeah.
again. I'll do that. Are you ever going to do the new Star Wars Battlefront 2 this year? No, not me. I didn't buy the last one. Don't get me
Last one was
started
awful.
on AAA games. I can go on a big rant about AAA games.
Stop buying them.
Yeah, stop pre-ordering them and buying all their DLC and microtransactions. While Professor T fixes that one, I want to back on the Minecraft. Have you ever TNT jumped in Sky Wars, and if so, to the NCP blocking it? I don't know what NCP is. And I never really did TNT jumping. Personally, what would you say you need to improve on? Animation, the actual animation itself. It's the one thing I've never learned. It's the one thing that I really had to kind of learn anew with animation. All the other stuff was kind of things I kind of experienced with, you know, camera work and stuff I learned a little bit from Machinima. I feel like animation I've never really learned. Like I still, actually just today I was animating a character turning around. I still can't have a character turn around. If they actually turn, it's like okay, what foot goes where at what point? Like it's some weird little basic things I don't know. I just slide like the bottom thing and then kind of the feet go up and down and just kind of bounces and looks weird. Do you enjoy seeing the end result of your animations? Yeah, well, I mean, I kind of see the end result as I'm doing it. I see the results in little bits. I'll be like, okay, here's this chunk rendered out, and I'll put in music, and I'll go play it back, make sure it's good. Like, okay, this chunk's good. By the time I see the very end result, I've already seen the whole thing so many times. It's just a matter of making sure there's no like problems or glitches. So I'm not even really focusing on the animation anymore. Have you heard of
Professor T
Mr.
is fixed.
Oh, Professor TV. What would your dream job be if animation wasn't already your dream job?
So if doing
I
YouTube
still
wasn't
don't
your
get it.
dream job, what would your dream job be?
Yeah.
So
Well, I
just
don't-
forgetting
yeah.
YouTube.
That's
Like, would you be a doctor?
if this wasn't my
or
dream
something
job, I don't know
else,
what my
or-
dream job would be. So how can I answer that? I don't know. I still don't understand the question.
So far, my goal right now is to be an animator or storyteller. So, yeah, like I'm going that route right now. I don't know what else I would want to be. So.
This wasn't quite the question, but if I wasn't able to do my dream job, which was, you know, just keep telling stories like I am right now, online doing cool stuff, I probably would have gotten into like, I don't know. There's so many different things I could have done.
Yeah.
I was kind of interested in like visual effects. I was interested in, you know, editing. There's a lot of things in game design actually.
Yeah.
Because I did have a lot of I actually went to college for programming, and I did a lot of stuff in some basic game design. I may have gone into some kind of like game program design.
Yeah, I can actually see you kind of like doing that.
I actually made a
You
game.
made a game.
Yeah, it's a game you can actually download
Yeah.
and play if you want. It's kind of interesting. On
Yeah.
the on my personal channel, I think. Why did you create BPS? I just needed a channel to put my videos on. Back when I did the first few. Favorite character in an animation to all of us? I'll let you guys go first on this one as well. What's your favorite character from, I guess, what, just the BPS animations?
Is it
I guess,
yeah,
Yeah.
BPS or just any animated film? Okay.
Derp.
I don't know. Like, I actually really don't know.
We don't have too many characters. There's not that many. Like,
Yeah.
there's basically like us, like the actual people, like actual animators, and there's just like the
Derp.
kind of
Turtle.
people. Yes, people like Derp.
Oh god, people are
Derp,
asking
Turtle,
me.
Old Man.
Yeah.
Oh,
People are
Oh,
asking
what about
me,
the
who do you
fish?
ship on the BPS crew. I don't ship anybody.
Yeah, don't.
I don't ship anyone. Like, I'm not the one that does that.
Can you please say it in chat? Say what? No, I'm not gonna be typing out the answers. All this is gonna take it. What odd habits do you have while animating? You probably asked that just because of my last tweet about picking all the sound
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was in a call. I was trying to animate, and
Oh,
Tori
yeah,
was like,
Tori.
"Sound like the sounds," and I was like, and I kept. It was literally instinct. I was animating a punch, and he was like, I kept going every time I'd like scrub back and try it again. I go.
It was like the
I kept doing
lounge
that.
was
Kind
just
of makes
completely
sense. Because
quiet.
it kind of like for an animator to imagine the scene happening. Like, that
Yeah,
just makes
I
sense.
just kind of like.
I don't find it weird.
It's
Because,
like
you know,
the
It's
lounge
not
was
weird,
just
it's normal.
the lounge was complete silent, and all of a sudden you just hear a
No
sound
one in the
effect.
BPS cruise ships anyone.
Nope, we do not
How
ship.
to are you? No, you got the quote wrong. It actually it's pretty close, but not quite. I think one of the first words is wrong. How to are you already go beyond? I think that's how it started.
They're asking, how do you find the best music for an animation?
How do you find?
Isn't it
By
like
Epidemic.
Epidemic? Yeah, I
Yeah,
was about to say
Epidemic.
Epidemic Sound.
Well, that's where you get it, but how do you find it? It's kind of a different.
Search Epidemic on Google.
Music's one of those things. I don't know. For me, I've always kind of. I'm actually really huge on music. I write some music and stuff, and like I play instruments and stuff. And it's always one of those things I really enjoy from movies. One of the things I remember from movies and I get really into.
Yeah.
So for me, I've always kind of had an ear for like what works. A lot of my scenes are actually inspired by the music itself. So it's actually like the music came first, and then I animated to the music. So it's not. So I didn't really have to find the music for it. I found the animation for the music, honestly, for some of the scenes. There's a boyfriend. Is that a question? Oh, are any of you married or have a family? No. Yeah.
No.
None of us are married. Yeah.
I'm 15.
None of us has
I
a
got a
boyfriend.
long ways away from that.
Thomas, do you have a boyfriend? I think Thomas has a boyfriend. I don't know.
No.
Thomas, are you a single Pringle or do you have a girlfriend?
I'm
Are
a
you
Pringle. I want to be a Pringle. They're
Thank you.
nice.
Thomas is. Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
god.
Thomas is.
Ready
Is
salted
it
Pringles.
allowed to eat here? What? Sure. Is that a lone song? Yeah, never be alone.
Yes, it
Farm Hut
is.
song. Single Pringle. Have you heard of Mr. Fudge Monkeys? No, I have not.
Yes, I have.
I have not.
He's
Is
an
it allowed to eat
animator.
in here? What? Sure. It's a game. Go for it.
Yeah. It's a
You're not
game.
gonna like spill crumbs on the Minecraft floor.
How do you all feel about pet chickens?
I think
What?
they're cute.
My
I think
neighbor
they're
had
cute
some.
as well.
It depends on the chickens. Some chickens I find get really, really unsocial, and like
Carrots.
they really don't want to be around you. That's how my neighbors were
Yeah.
at a time. But then one time, she got these 5 chickens, which were actually like, she actually got conned. She got hens. Turned out they were all roosters, and she got conned by some dude.
Oh.
But they were like
How could
all
you-
those roosters. Well, when they're young, you can't really tell. When they're all young, they're all kind of like the same. So she got them as like little chicks, and they all turned out to be all roosters. But they were like super, super social. I think I have a picture. I was on their hammock, and all 5 of them would like come hop up on the hammock with me and lay down. It was super adorable. I have a picture of me on the hammock. They're all just kind of sitting
Yeah.
next to me and like, oh.
Okay, big
DC or
question.
Marvel?
DC or Marvel? Yeah, I was about to say
Marvel.
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 No,
Marvel.
Marvel's for the win. I'm
The
not
only,
really
the
a
only
fan
thing
of DC
DC's
stuff.
gotten right was like Christopher Nolan's Batman.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a DC fan. I actually I have like a bunch of Marvel comics, but barely any DC comics. Like I have like just a
Marvel
little.
just have more interesting characters rather than just generic.
Yeah. Well, for me,
Superman.
as far as movies go, I feel like for me, Marvel's doing well. Then DC kind of tried to do it, didn't get it right, and then Christopher Nolan did like the Dark Knight trilogy, and he made something that people really, really liked, turned out really good. And ever since then, DC has just tried to recreate like the Batman feel, but with other directors, and they can never get it right, and they never do
Yeah.
it well. That was like kind of what I felt. Man of Steel was trying to be like seriouser and dark,
Yeah.
but then it just wasn't. It was the director that made that really good. So then they've never really kind of recaptured that. There's some other. Oh, do I live in the country or a farm? No, I live in like the suburban. It's
yeah.
it's very college city. It's really one of the biggest colleges in all of Florida. Is like 10 minutes away from me, which is where I
Yeah,
went
it's
to college.
like was it University?
Yeah, University of Florida.
Or,
It's like
yeah.
so. It's a very college-centric town. So it's big on like sports and stuff.
I live in a somewhat country area. Like it's mainly rural, but there's like a city is like really close to me, like half-hour drive.
You have
Do you
one
guys like-
city in our county.
You guys like rain? It's associated with sadness, but I quite like it.
I like rain, especially
I
for
like
sun.
when, like, yeah.
You know, like
Rain's
I don't know
better
why.
than boiling.
Oh wait,
Okay,
I'm
for
gonna go Discord for a moment. Hold on. Let me actually ask. There's a few Discord
Oh,
names.
Squid Boy, you shouldn't have said that in private message. Had to disconnect. The person streaming saw me step hack.
What? What?
I watched
you
the guy.
mean,
I
Monty?
watched the guy hack. And that NCDC came back and told someone that he step hacked.
Oh,
It's in
really?
Guardians of the
You've been
Galaxy
named
2.
and shamed.
Not yet. I haven't seen many movies
Man.
theaters yet, but I want to. I really enjoyed the first, and I want to see the second. Just probably get it later. you know where you can get GTE free music? I'm not sure what that is. Something about licensing. I'm not sure. Just gotta Google it. Can you make animation with everyone on the Discord fight? Oh, everyone on the Discord?
There's like
All
1,000
1,000-something
people.
players? If you could collab with any animators, who would they be and why? I think I asked this in a podcast. I think it was the last podcast question. And for me, it was what Mama's Boy. I just think his animation style is pretty cool, and the guy seems really interesting.
Oh yeah, is he the one that does the Captain Sparkles?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched some of his
I know you're talking
streams. He
about.
does these like, he'll stream his entire animation from start to finish in like a 16-hour sitting, all live streamed, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how he does that. And he'll like change the title as he's going on to just like random things like the pancakes tasted good or something, you know, like 'cause he'll go eat his pancakes and then say something like that. It's pretty ridiculous.
Who was a part of the original BPS? Arby.
The original
Arby.
BPS crew is just me.
I mean, there were people who helped
Tea or
out.
coffee?
Coffee.
Neither.
If
I
they've
like
got
tea. I mean, I'm not really a coffee fan, but I mean, you know, actually, I kind of
tea
like
is
both.
better.
Creator of Halo asked for you to. Well, hold on. Well, what do you? First of all, creators of Halo, as in Bungie, or the creators of Halo
Oh,
As
343
in
Bungie.
343, or the real creators of Halo, like Joseph Stanton, who quit Bungie, and Marty O'Donnell also quit Bungie. You know, the real creators of Halo aren't in either of those companies anymore.
Speaking of Bungie or
The real
343, Jeff Godai asked Bungie or 343.
Bungie.
Bungie.
Oh, original Bungie, old school Bungie before they sold the 343.
Yeah.
The core,
Destiny was better than all the Halo stuff.
You mean the later Halo stuff? I didn't play
Yeah.
Halo, so I didn't know.
Halo 4-5.
That's gotta be saying a lot. I gotta give Dan a yee face. There we go. I really
Hey,
happy with the
Bungie
yee.
didn't. The title update wasn't Bungie's fault.
What's the title update?
The Halo Reach title update where they like,
Oh, the weird one they changed the pistols.
yeah,
Or pistols became really strong all of a sudden.
yeah.
I don't know.
That was
I liked
343 when they took
I
over.
liked the old Halo where it was like Joseph Stanton doing the stuff like on Halo 2, Marty O'Donnell, ODST, those kind of stuff. That's like the good Halo days for me.
I love the ODST one.
Oh, question to Stig. When did you join BPS?
Uh,
The same
yeah,
thing
same,
as Dino's answer.
Yeah,
same
it's
as
about
Dino.
the same time actually.
It was the exact same.
Yeah,
thing.
it's
Yeah,
the
exact
exact
same
same
time.
thing actually.
And then someone also asked almost the exact same thing. When and why did you join BPS?
Yeah.
Dogs.
Well, you can. Hold on. Okay, question
You
about
like dogs
originals.
or cats, dogs?
Oh, maybe asked one about original videos versus Hypixel. I'd just say we're always going to try to keep minigame animations. That's just kind of it's a thing that's gotten our channel huge. We would never just like stop that because
Yeah.
you know it's a thing that people are going to like. Some people aren't going to like our story stuff with voice acting and stuff just because it's not their style.
I don't know.
Some people are
why,
used
but-
to the things.
Oh crap, their style.
So
I
yeah,
mean-
I mean, some people don't want to like listen to dialogue. Some they don't want long things. They
Yeah.
just want something short and funny. Like there's
True.
not really like a derp in Songs of War. There's no one who's like silly and funny and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So we'll always be having that kind of old stuff of like mini games and stuff. But some of us are kind of moving into the bigger ones.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Are you getting worried about providing all the Emerald and Up patrons? One of the main issues, honestly, is that we're still finishing mini walls, which still actually has some of the last remaining diamonds
Yeah.
back when we still had diamonds.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes once mini walls is over, and then we at least no longer have the diamond backlog.
Yeah.
So we'll always the appearances will probably be a little bit less. I was actually talking to Sam about this as well the other day. Is that I think some people, when they kind of, for those who became Emerald at some point or currently Emerald, I think some people will kind of pledge hoping they'll get like a head scientist appearance like in Blocking Dead, where they're fighting alongside the animators, doing cool flips. That was kind of way back when we had like 6 patrons that were diamond or above or so, and then he was the first Obsidian ever, so we were able to do that. Nowadays it's kind of like we got a lot,
Yeah.
and we're also kind of mixed between all these other animations that have
We may have to even extend that to like Obsidian.
mm,
Mhm.
I'm hoping that they remove it. I'm hoping at least there'll probably still be appearances. It probably just won't be as big as the old things. Like animation life, I'm going to try to have every single Emerald in somewhere, even if it's just kind of like walking by in the
Somewhere, like, walking
background.
around, yeah.
So I'll try to fit everyone in. Dan asks, who is the best Rots character? And why is it Archangel?
Lucas Graham.
For my actual favorite, I had like a list at one point of like my top 5 Rod's characters. I don't really remember them anymore though. All I remember is the Actuarian was always one of my favorites, which was
My favorite was Kalos.
Yeah, Kalos was cool. Do you think a music video is ever possible? Not really. That's one of the things we kind of, way back when we were starting in animation, yeah, I was about to say Eagle kind of even wanted to do. When we were first starting, we were like, oh, how we're gonna, we kind of got to start in Minecraft. Let's see what we can do to keep our momentum going. And we're like, hey, Minecraft parody videos are big. We could try doing those. But at the same time, we also kind of realized there was also kind of like, people were kind of realizing it was like the cop-out way of doing things. Like a lot of people were just like people were doing parodies just hoping to get famous, not because they actually like the parodies, at least in my opinion. So then, yeah, there's even there's actually a Minecraft parody about that whole concept.
Yeah.
So we decided we're kind of like, let's not do that. If we're able to do it without doing it, I think it would be a little better as far as, trying to be original, trying to be unique, trying to do something kind of special and different. Oh my goodness.
What?
Does anyone not? Oh, God. How did I not notice that before? Everyone seen? Okay, look at the red stripe that goes around the edge. Notice anything wrong with it? The red stripe that goes around like the top back edge
With what?
of the back of the trivia area. Everyone turn around and look at the back of the talent show. The top red stripe that goes along the edge. There's a block missing. It's block missing on the left side.
Oh, okay, I hate you so much right now, my OCD.
Oh yeah, I see it.
I didn't notice it. Thank you.
OCD.
There we go. What? There was a block. How long has it been like that?
How dare you judge our building mistakes?
I've been there like all these talent shows.
Never seen it.
Let me finish off Discord questions and I'll be right back. Do you watch The Flash? No, I have not.
No.
Can you make an animation with everyone in Discord? I literally just said no. There's no way we're gonna do that.
Everyone but the animators. Who, in your opinion, is the best BPS animator? I can't decide.
That's also
That's it.
That's the opposite of asking about like choosing between your kids. It's like choosing between your parents.
Yeah, exactly.
Which one of your parents do you like better?
My dad.
It's like no.
Can I come?
I can't decide that. It's
No,
impossible.
Sorry, put some
Yes, you
fire. Someone want to put like a lava bucket on Zilly animates. I think he's getting a little cold.
Oh, hi,
Need to heat him up.
Thomas.
Go warm Zilly up.
It's fast.
Have you watched Naruto? No. Did you have an animation?
No, I have not. No, it's Naruto. I've heard of it.
Oh, that's an interesting question. Did you have an animation that majorly changed from how you originally pictured it? And how was it?
Murder.
Oh, really?
My original
Murder.
murder. It was supposed to be like 3 parts, a lot slower pace. Instead it was like cut really, really short.
Wow.
I'm trying to think about For me, it was a lot of my Halo shimmers were like that. Especially a lot of those things changed a lot. For animation life at the very beginning was gonna be very different. One of the very initial things I had was like, I want to have something with like, okay, an animator's animating the scene around him. Initially, okay, so you know how currently animation life, it's like there's the animator, there's a computer, and then there's like the in the computer scene, but they're kind of separate. The original was going to be the guy sits down at his desk, opens up Blender, he sees the room he's sitting in with him animating on his desk, with the computer with him animating the room. It's gonna be like, and he was gonna be able to like he'd move, he'd pick up a crate in the room, then he'd turn around and he'd see the actual crate get picked up in his room.
Well, that would
So it was actually gonna be him animating his own Minecraft animation. And then that was the idea for then we're like, oh, we could have him moving around with his laptop, animating while he's walking around like the city. So he animates his way like to work, like he just builds a bridge over traffic. And that's actually why the laptops became a thing, because I told Tiger that idea really early on. I was like, oh, we could have him, we could go to the bank, rob a bank with his, he'd bring his laptop to the bank and like open up the vault with like while he animates it. So then Tiger started animating the laptops, and I was like, actually, I'll just make them in the room, so we didn't really need the laptops. But
that would have actually, that would have actually been kind of interesting. If that was.
It would have been. I think there's a few reasons why I didn't. I think, right away I realized it would just become kind of too overpowered, and then there wasn't really anything interesting about it. It was like, oh, okay, if he can, spawn in anything and delete stuff and move anything around, it's not really much to it. It just would have been kind of like, oh, that's kind of cool. So I wanted to actually give it like a story where it's kind of like the person animating the animation that came to life. Who's your longest current patron? I think that would be Spawn. Spawn pledged way back at Skywars Mega,
Oh wow.
and he became an Obsidian in the end of Blocking Dead, and has remained Obsidian ever since.
Wow.
So he's
Holy
been our
crap.
we've been we were also talking about doing
Spawn hasn't been
something
around.
else special for him. Give him like a big scene or something. Give him like a head scientist type scene.
Question
you
for
gonna-
Tom. Oh.
Well, when are you gonna get back to Guild
Oh.
Wars for more fractals?
Okay,
Yeah, Arby.
question
When-
for Thomas.
When are you gonna
Why-
put Big Guild Wars before BPS?
Yeah. Alrighty. Question for Thomas. Why do you love pugs but don't have one?
Because we already have a dog.
Are you planning to
Why
one
do I-
day own a pug?
Yeah, I do want to get a pug one day.
You know, you're gonna have to like intentionally lose your pug. That way you can say, "Where's my pug
Oh my
gone?"
god.
Here's another question here's a question for the audience. How many people here have seen Thomas's pug GTA machinima?
I
I
have.
have.
I have.
Someone send a link. Oh,
Where's my
Highlands,
pug?
right. Where's my pug gone?
You just run it around.
You get to see my character get mauled by a roller coaster.
Yo, I have GTA. What's your longest played?
Okay,
My longest played
question-
Steam game. My Steam game for me is TF2.
Question for Arby. Would you consider the BPS crew family since you are all chill with each other?
Oh,
Oh, sure. We're all family. Yeah, I mean, we all pretty much share the metaphorical BPS house, which is like our little chat group.
Yeah.
we all have a history.
Yeah. Can I come in? No.
No.
Have you ever tried using movie making for? Oh, I mean Movie Maker. Movie Maker's pretty bad. Let's just say that. Movie Maker's not the best, and when not the best means probably one of the worst. But it might work. One thing you can actually do. One thing I always recommend for people who want to get video editing software is I always first of all I recommend the lower versions of Vegas. There's cheaper versions of Vegas than not the pro versions that are like only $60 or so. Also, if you want to be really cheap like I was for a while, you can actually get the Sony Vegas the demo. What do you call it? Not the demos, the trials. You get the Vegas trial. You get a month of it for free. You can get Vegas Pro trial for a month, and then right before the month ends, make a new account, get a new trial, and then just open the project in that one, and literally just keep going. I made a whole Halo mission like that once.
Just buy it.
Someone's
Which then I
asking.
actually looked. Yeah, do you remember Tyler the Turtle?
Yeah, I do slightly. Remember his face. So yeah.
Yeah, Movie Maker works. I've never used it very much. What's your most successful creation on Microsoft Paint?
Oh no.
Let me see if I can pull
Rise
that
of
up.
the
I'll put that.
Spartans.
hold
Oh
on.
god.
Yeah, this would
Another-
be-
That was a
no.
joke. From
No, wait. Is it my Halo Reach pictures?
Oh, was it you in the bathtub?
No, oh no, that was
Oh, what?
Caroline. That was actually really good. That was her fan art.
Yeah.
No, where is this?
Someone also was asking.
Hold on, I'm trying to find it.
Okay.
Oh no, I hope I saw.
Like,
I hope I
do
didn't-
any
Everyone
of
here should
you-
go back and go and watch Rots.
Yeah, someone's asking, do any of you have a brother or sister? If so, what are
Yes.
their names? Which you don't have to reveal the names, I guess.
Well, I'm busy finding
okay.
my paint
I-
masterpiece.
Yeah. I do have a sister. So
Oh,
I'm not gonna
I have a
mention her.
brother and a sister.
hold on a second.
I have a sister.
If I can't find this, I'm gonna be upset. Oh, there it is.
There's,
Okay. So
Oh,
here's
God.
Okay, I'm gonna
Let's
post
see,
this
what
one.
is-
Okay, here. Wait, I'll put this
Put me
one
on
first.
the chat.
So this was a
Where is it
poster
in,
I wanted my friend to make. When I was making Project Middle Ground on my old Halo Mishimas, I wanted to make that as like a cool movie poster. You know, where it's got like the name at the top and like the
That's pretty
voice
cool.
actors along the bottom. We
Yeah.
wanted to make it look like something you see out front of a movie theater.
Yeah, it's
So-
something.
I created the poster first using my Microsoft Paint skills, and I gave this to the artist, and it's like, this is what I want it to look like. So I gave him that. I was like, two dudes with explosion behind it, debris flying everywhere, and then it has that stuff. So I like, I have a lot of stupid paint things. A lot of
Wasn't there one
weird.
for Underworld as well?
That was one Sam did. Sam made that one. We did the containment, the nasty, weird containment one. I also had this. I made this for April Fools this year. You would have seen this as my profile picture.
Oh. Yeah, I remember that.
Where we redid all of our designs using Microsoft Paint.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that
Yeah, I
one, the one
remember
he
that.
just linked, I think. Yeah, utilizing latest advancements. We
That's the
did the
third
logo, I
person.
think. What is step hacking?
Pretty much they
Step-
What?
Pretty
Some
much
kind of glitch
look-
thing.
they go up to a wall and it TPs them to the top of the wall.
Oh,
Oh,
weird.
that's weird.
There's a dude sitting on the table with us. How long has that been
You
here?
know,
No, he
Yeah.
just got there. He just.
Hey.
Why'd you choose the name Arbor 617? There's a character in Halo. Well, there it was actually a group of characters in Halo known as the Arbiters. They were similar to the Spartans, but they were the elite versions. They're like the elites. And funny enough, it wasn't just like an arbiter with some numbers thrown on. Yeah, it was actually there's this place called the Mausoleum of the Arbiters where all the arbiters were kept. There's a whole bunch of them, and I imagined it kind of like the Spartans. The Spartans in that game also had numbers. There's like this is Spartan 117, you know, this is Spartan 239. So all the
Yeah.
Spartans had numbers. So I was like, oh,
Probably the
I'm
Arby's,
an
yeah.
elite fan. I want to do some cool thing, kind of like the Spartans do, where they name their gamer tags like Spartan 239. But I'll be like as the arbiter. I'll be one of the arbiters as like a contrast to the human guys. So I'd made it Arbiter 617, which is why it always
Which
had a
is
space.
now iconic.
Yeah, well, it had a space between Arbiter 617 on my gamer tag, as if it was like Arbiter, the 617th Arbiter.
Yeah.
But then everything ever since then has not allowed me to do spaces, so I just kind of lost the spaces always. Will you open staff positions without age limit? It'll probably always keep that, honestly.
Yeah, there will always be an age
It's just
limit
easy to
it.
and just be patient if you're underage now. Are you gonna sell merch or anything? We actually already do sell
already.
merchandise. Actually, let me link that in. I'll link this in the Discord.
Oh,
Sprix,
Thomas,
if
thanks
you're
for
on
standing on my face.
Sorry. What was the age limit? Age limit's usually 14 for
Yeah, it was like
Depends.
14 or 15, I think.
Here's our merchandise store.
For like the age limit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the merch store.
Are you planning to fix all the patron ranks on the server? Are they messed up right now? Oh, well, just let us know. Oh, that's right. Yeah, because we had to. Oh, you just message us. Yeah, about a month and a half ago, we switched our permission plugin. Stig, if you could promote someone to Iron, will he bear your redstone?
Oh yeah, some guy mentioned earlier.
What's
about
that,
like
who?
a
Let them- Yeah,
Discord
we-
plugin for the Minecraft server.
What's that, who do you want me to promote?
We'll look into that later though. We changed our promote someone 888MC. Promote him to Iron and then promote Willy Bear to Redstone.
What, someone at MC?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
someone.
Someone MC, yeah.
And you're standing on my face, Arby.
We had a new permissions plugin we added recently that helped a lot of things, but then everyone lost their rank, so we had to re-add it.
Right, someone should have his iron
Are
rank
you doing
now,
this
and who's the other?
intentionally?
No,
So, oops, wait,
totally not.
Right, who else needs it?
here's my share. Willy Bear, Redstone. I guess planning to change anything with towns and nations. That's gonna become a little problem. The only thing that's really a problem with townie right now is when you change your name, you lose the town, and it's really annoying. There is a workaround. We're able to just manually re-add people. It's just a little bit of a drag. We'll probably keep it mostly the same. One thing though I might do, we might actually have a town tax next time. We took it off this server just to be totally kind of lenient. However, there was a lot of towns that would make a town and then play for 2 days and never ever come back on, and all these towns sat there. So we'll probably have a town tax next time. That way the towns for people who aren't on a while will kind of fall into ruin. It'll be very minimal though. As long as you're there and you play for like just a few days and put some money in the bank, you'll be fine. It's just to cut out the people who like never played at all. Yeah, and we're also going to look into money, making sure there's not ways of stacking 9 times multipliers on your money and then killing the Ender Dragon and getting like $150,000.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. Yeah, mob hunting was one of the plugins we got rid of. Apparently, mob hunting had every time mob hunting would update, it would add like a new setting that we didn't know about, and then we would find out later that it was causing some big problem. I'm 10 and have 2,500 subs. How can I make my channel bigger? Oh, better. I actually have a whole video on my advice for doing YouTube stuff. You might want to give that a watch if you haven't already. Would I be creeped out if you said I was your role model? Not really. It's not creepy. I don't say that's creepy. I mean,
Wait,
everyone
what?
has someone. They look up to.
Okay, and it's that person. Ban.
There's someone else.
There's two people.
Oh.
There's two
How did you?
people.
Okay,
doing it.
question again. Like, how did you come up with the design of your BPS logo, or of the BPS logo?
A fun fact: it actually is finally inspired by my TV remote.
Really?
Little fun fact. Yeah.
Oh,
well,
I
let's need
get
it.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
It
trying to,
was-
like,
Get that.
I was
the
going
type, like,
through
was it-
so many different ideas. I have a whole folder full of all my failed BPS logo ideas. And let me post some of those in.
Yeah,
Discord.
actually, I've seen. Yeah, like,
I've
photo.
shared some, I think, somewhere else. At one point, I pulled them up in the stream or something.
Oh no, we're going to design another one for people.
What?
We're design another logo.
Oh, for BPC or BPE or whatever. Where's the logos? Hold on. Test logos. Here we go. Okay, so first I started by just doing like silhouettes. I was like, okay, you know what? If I'm gonna make a logo, it has to work on black and white. You know, so I just tried making like just overall just a silhouette. You know, what does it look like?
Yeah.
And I went through like weird things. I was like, oh, let's try not curvy. Let's do like
It looks like a flower.
straight things. Yeah, that one looked like a flower. I tried.
Oh, it does.
That one
Fancy.
looks like a snowflake.
This one looked kind of like it's supposed to have like the little core. Then I tried, you know, coloring things. Like, you know,
Plasma
here's this
core
one with like
almost.
color. I tried putting.
Oh, that's
weird stuff
interesting.
on.
Kind of crazy to see how things would change.
Yeah, I went through all these different logos that didn't work.
Yeah.
But eventually, so what finally inspired it, I couldn't figure out what would work, and the way I finally saw it was I saw my
Your
I
remote.
was sitting there I actually literally this took an entire spring break. I was literally from the beginning to the end of the spring break. I was coming up with ideas, and then that's actually why we didn't do that logo, because people kept saying it looked like a Pokeball.
A Pokeball.
But it was near the end of the spring break. I was sitting down and like I had like this big sheet of paper. Literally, it was this huge sheet of paper I had on the floor. I was just doodling random stuff all over it, and my remote was sitting next to me. And I looked over at my remote, and it had like the little center button, you know, like the OK button. Then right around it had like a ring of those buttons that looked kind of like. Let me pull one in. Kind of like.
Oh my
It was
god,
sort of
that's
like
ugly.
this, where it would have
Yeah.
like, there's a button in the middle. It didn't have like the 6 curved parts going out, but it had the center button and like the 6 little pieces around the edge.
Looks like a
And I was
pizza.
like, huh, I can do
Looks
that.
It's like a pizza.
Pizza prediction.
Should have done that then.
Ching.
So that was what came first. So that was the first idea. Then I was like, huh, that's cool, but still the inner 6 pieces still kind of look like a flower, or it looks like pizza. So then I was like, oh, what if I maybe make the 2 left and right sides symmetrical, so it goes back to the old. Because
Oh
here's
my
the actually, if you
God.
don't see the.
We have to try and make that pizza.
So then I did. So this became the next design. I combined the left and right side.
Starts getting closer.
Yeah,
and
now you
closer
can
to
see
the
already
original.
see.
Yeah.
So then I kind of combined the inner sides. And I was like, oh, that looks kind of interesting. And then I was like, oh, why
Take
not
off
just
like the
simply,
outer
yeah,
stuff.
drop it out.
And that's where the logo comes in.
Yeah, and here's like
How
just
about the
the
sides?
Interesting.
we also didn't know what color we were gonna do at first. So we had all these different little.
Oh yeah, it was purple at first, like
Yeah, we had.
Oh yeah,
the old purple.
isn't it like
Purplish color.
it's gold or purple right
BPS
now on
maybe
the
BPS
Twitch
used to
one?
be purple.
Because
Didn't
here's
used to
the
be
old
Yeah, on the BPS Twitch channels, isn't it gold or purple right now?
was purple on Twitch. Twitch was
Yeah.
purple. See, that was our old thing. I
Yeah,
always
that
wanted- I
was
always
like,
wanted
what
to
was
keep
that? A
like-
plasma ball, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to
Because-
keep that. Like, there's like in the plasma balls, there's like the little core that goes out the bottom that kind of holds it.
And the, like the
So I
lightning
always wanted to
has
kind of keep
energy.
that center, which is how then the center part got cut.
I need to buy one of them.
You
I
just
have
put your
actually
hands
one.
on it, your hair sticks
I
up.
had one,
No, 'cause
and when I
on
went,
they can, like at shops, they have plasma balls with that exact image on the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, back with the channel.
Stop it from Marvel.
yeah, I had one, but when I moved, I accidentally dropped it and smashed it.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Oh.
Like create a black hole or something.
Yeah. Thanks for following second.
Oh,
Appreciate
Just
it.
a
BPS
giant
logo, just make the
hole. Just
BPS
starts-
logo a C.
What?
Photoshop. Someone says.
A
Telling you
BPS
to
like a
Photoshop, why do you-
Photoshop. Maybe.
I'm going back to questions on this server. I'm actually gonna move around just one.
What's your favorite type of pizza?
Pepperoni pizza.
Margarita.
Minus
'cause
pepperoni.
Actually,
Spanish
pesto.
sausage pizza's good too.
I'm gonna do like okay. I'm gonna take about a few minutes. I'm just gonna do like speed reading. I'm just gonna go through these answers as fast as I can. So you have questions and ask now. I'm gonna answer as quick as possible. Here we go. How do you get you guys skins? Do you create them? Most of them are our own skins, patrons, or things we need based on certain characters. How do you guys? Secret pizza. That was the questions. Can you correctly pronounce my username? It's Isaac's. Margarita for life. Questions. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Come on. I'm answering faster than you can ask them. Keep them coming. Keep them. What about making a BPS Junior? I can lead it. We don't need a BPS Junior. I don't know what that is. Do you think it's a decent idea to playing poetry and animation together? Sure, you can try it. I don't know how you can do that. Do you have to have voice acting or something? What is life? I don't know the answer. Favorite Hypixel game? Ooh, I don't know the answer.
Understand what you're saying anymore. I can't understand what you're saying anymore.
Do you guys make BPS plushies like Thomas with his pug or something? That'd be awesome. I don't know how to make plushies, but that'd be really cool for.
You sound like a better at a
storage
unit.
Or a little Fido plushie, or having like a little gas plushie would be super cool. But I don't know if we can sell some of those things. Some of those things are owned by Microsoft, so we can't really own them. Next question. Favorite server? Become Hypixel server, whatever. Become. Oh, there's this thing. Can we kill you? No, you can't. Did you like Steve Harribine's animation? I don't remember which one that was. Little Thomas or Big Thomas Adult. Is that a question directed towards Thomas? Do you like anime? I haven't seen too many anime. I've only really watched Studio Ghibli films. Favorite server before Hypixel? I've only really ever played Hypixel. Do you not sound robotic? I'm not sounding robotic. Could you guys make BPS plushies? We already answered that. Arby is making a QnA rap. This isn't a QnA rap. Arby is, oh my god, do you want to eat me? What? Can I have food? Thanks, Heron's enemy. Can you speak very quickly like Cars salesman? Hello everyone, welcome to Arby 617 here in the very interesting Minecraft. Do you like anime? I already answered that question. Spell tuna sub backwards. I'm not going to do that because it's probably weird. Meow. Is that a question? What would you? The Ender Dragon died in the first day of the new PPG server. The Ender Dragon is definitely going to die in the first day of the PPG server. It's going to be happening. Just get used to it. Do you like anime? I already answered the question 2 times now. What? So someone already made. I'm making an examination. I'm making examination. Okay. You're making him. You're making a person. Arby, how hot are you? In which sense can you ka-chow? My animation was. What is the tech of?
Arby's broken. We're broken.
Hey Thomas, do you see
that?
that?
Fan visit for when you move to Canada. Yeah.
Look at the top right of the talent show.
The top right of the what?
The Batman.
Huh?
Top
What?
right.
Batman's up there.
What?
Oh, that's weird. What's the funniest joke you know? I never know my jokes. Misty, I've already answered that 4 times now. How do you think many people talk in Canada? So I will know. Well, there's a very difference between like West and East Canada.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
the East Canadian is very like
French.
French, yeah, the French Canadian. Then there's like the hello, my name is Dan. I am from West. And my name is Dan.
From
I am from British
India.
Columbia.
Apparently.
I like to watch curling. I like maple syrup and curling. That's
Oh,
how
my
Dan
lord.
speaks.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right. Yep. He could Bollywood and curling. Have you seen Gravity Falls? I've seen
I
Gravity
have.
Fails. Is that the TF2 one?
No.
Gravity Falls
No,
is a
Gravity
Disney
Falls
show.
is that TV show. I've
No,
watched.
it's totally a
It's a TV show.
It's a TV show.
It
it
is.
Falls or
Gravity
Fails? TF2.
Falls.
Hold on.
It's a TV
Oh,
show.
I was thinking
produced
of
by
Gravity.
Disney.
Okay, this is what I was thinking of.
I
I'll
know what
post
you're
it
talking
in
about. I've
the-
seen
Look at the
that as
thumbnail.
well.
That's the thumbnail alone.
Yeah.
is typical.
Yeah, I know. It's like the face on it is perfect.
What's gravity? You watch the first 10 seconds. That's all I need to see. That will summarize the whole video in the first 10 seconds. Who gives a crap about gravity? Me! Ah! Then he falls. Ah. Yeah, for the first 15 seconds. That's everything I need to see.
Yeah, I've seen that. I was like, what am I
That was
watching?
good.
I was like,
Who gives a crap about gravity? Me! Ah! Then he falls. Hey Dino Grilled, do you remember me?
yes, I do. Gravity Falls or Lazy Town? Oh God, help me.
Lazy Town.
Oh,
Gotta do the
look
quick
at the
mode.
memes from Lazy Town.
Do you do
I
lots
like
of
the,
international traveling? No.
Like the rap version of that song.
I know. God,
Yeah, with that little.
Get it, get it. Shake. Oh, no, buggers. Can you
Can you
sing
sing We Are Number? No.
No.
No, that's new lazy sound. We're talking about OG lazy sound.
Another one bites the dust.
I'm
Wait,
sure
what?
most of these people aren't hacking, they're probably just glitching.
Well, how come that guy's constantly TPing different parts
They
of the
could-
talent
yeah.
show are at the top of it?
Well, not that many. Surely not this many people are able to hack.
Honestly, I think it's just the same people
know.
coming back
Well, the more
after and
people-
after.
Maybe. We'll do it. Just try an IP man. There actually is an IP man on the server. You ever been to Norway? I've personally never been out of the US. I've never even really been off the East Coast that much.
The
Almost all my
only
family lives on the
Norway
East
that I've been to is the one down in Epcot.
Honestly,
I've been to
I have a
Spain
good
once.
feeling that
What the heck,
That
Dino?
same
Are
people.
you a grill gamer?
Coast. You
What?
grill game.
I'm just a grill.
What's
I
your
mean,
favorite high school elective?
oh.
Art.
I mean, I'm in high school at the moment.
I don't even think
Um,
I took many electives.
Are you talking about stuff like art and?
What's an
I
elective?
just took a lot of AP classes.
What is that? Is that when you elect someone?
No, that's like the kind of optional classes that's kind of like
Oh,
you get
yeah.
to kind of choose what they are.
I actually
you
am gonna
what you
probably be
wanna
going
do.
into AP classes. And
Yeah, I
do
mostly
what
just
I
took a lot of
want
AP.
to,
I didn't
so-
really have.
I had an
I-
animation
I-
class.
I finished my Spanish on like the first year of high school. Then that was like my last elective. I used to know un poco español, pero no entiendo mucho.
I don't know what you're saying.
Solo no.
See.
Sí, señor.
Iron
I
Man
don't
or
remember what's up.
Wolverine? Oh,
Hola, Arby.
Wolverine.
Iron Man.
Un bueno. Have you sort of become obsessed? I'm not obsessed with the dirt. he's a character people like, and he's recognizable, so we just have him.
Yeah.
Lately, though, he hasn't really been a main
hey,
character.
look,
really since
animation
Stone
joined.
Age. Oh, hello there.
He's
Hello. Ever
He's a main
your
character.
arch enemy? Is that the question?
your arch enemy. Who has a?
What's my
Digital
favorite
fear.
ice cream? Probably I just have vanilla.
Chocolate.
Ew.
That's my favorite. You don't like chocolate ice cream?
No, I don't like chocolate at all.
Well, you can
What?
probably guess my favorite number.
It's gonna ban.
Is the derp your mascot?
Yeah,
Probably the
kind
Yee.
of.
Yeah.
The Yee's kind of run the BPS
Nah,
mascot.
derp.
Derp's like our animation mascot. I feel
Nah,
like the
the
Yee's
Yee
gonna be
will
like
just get
our
us flagged.
Who-
Yee will
what?
get us flagged.
Caramel or
You can have like a
butterscotch?
Yee
Ooh.
like cardboard cutout in the office.
Yee's more of him.
That needs to
Oh.
happen.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll get a
caramel
cardboard cutout
or
of Yee
butterscotch? Caramel.
in the office at the end of the
Caramel.
hallway. That way, every time you go to the hallway, you see
Caramel.
Oh no.
Well, no, when
Or
you open the door,
out
it
on the
says
balcony
Yee.
looking in. Look out the window.
It's dark.
Every time you unlock the door, it says Yee.
Is your apartment in Vancouver really small? We haven't moved there yet. We haven't even gotten one yet. We're still
Haven't-
applying.
No.
We keep applying
But
for them,
probably yes.
Yeah, I know. Like when you're
It'll probably be
in,
small, but it'll probably be pretty
working on-
nice. The ones we're looking at are pretty high-end quality. They're just not
That's
like
good.
they're not very spacious because a lot of them are in like high rises, so they don't have that much room. But they're very good like amenities.
All I have to
and-
say is get a building or apartment kind of on a lower level, just in case.
Oh.
You know,
In case
I
of
like
the
top
big
that
one.
makes sense.
I want like the high level seats over trees. I think I've asked the most questions. I'm not sure. When Minecraft dies, what are you going to do? Die with it.
That's probably the truth. To be
Oh
honest.
my god.
Down with
For me-
Minecraft might not die. Like, I don't
It
think it's
is-
gonna die at all.
It's
but-
definitely decreased in popularity.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's already past its peak. 2012, 2013, that was like its peak when everyone had Minecraft on their start menu. You go around school, someone have your laptop open, you see Minecraft in their hotbar. That's kind of past its peak. However, my opinion's always been, even though the peak is past, I don't think Minecraft will ever die because it's kind of become like a staple kind of part of growing up kind of for kids now. It's kind of like what Legos used to be. You know, a lot of kids grow up with Legos. It's just like a toy or something like, you know, I don't know, like other kind of things that people grow up with. But I feel like Minecraft has kind of become like the game that people just kind of grow up with.
We're gonna
Yeah.
get Michael Bay Minecraft movies then in 20 years.
What?
Oh god. Explosion!
Minecraft the reboot.
Like 3,000 creepers on the spot.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Even if it dwindles down, there's always gonna be more people still coming in. Just people who like, there's gonna be people who want to raise their kids on like, oh, play Minecraft. It's good kind of It's a good game for kids because it's got a little bit of like everything.
Imagination.
Yeah, got
Big
creativity and stuff.
element. Imagination.
Wait, are there any
Any
questions in
other?
the Discord? I've been looking at Discord. Oh, there's some questions. What made you think of creating Derp? I actually answered that in the old Q&A. I would actually recommend watching that one because it actually even pulled up a thing that I'm not going to pull up now. If you go and watch the Q&A, the description
Which
has all the one on BPS. The Q&A that's like the big
This
500k Q&A. When was that? Or it's like 300k.
300K. Yeah.
It's 300k Q&A. We answered a lot of questions. The description has all those questions. The Derp question was asked then, and in that video we actually pulled up the
600K ago.
original one. Yeah.
I'm just scrolling back through the
Tripled
Discord.
since then.
A question for Arby. How did you meet the staff?
Well, actually, while I'm looking at this one, Wookie asks about Galaxy Wars merch. Lena versus the Sith guy. There won't be merch of that. However, Lena is also in Reverie, and I think the Sith guy is also in Reverie, and they'll probably be versing each other, so there might be merch of that, which is like the same thing. A lot of the skins that Nighthawks has been using, a lot of those are kind of coming together in Reverie. Like, he used the old Book of Enchantment skin, the dude back in the original Book of Enchantment, he's appearing in Reverie. You know, the Survival Games characters appearing in Reverie, and some of the Galaxy Wars characters appearing in Reverie.
Yeah.
Back to the questions on the stuff. I've not
Yeah.
heard of Young Justice. You
What's
spend
the-
your entire career animating on YouTube? I mean, for me, it's just like, I just want to do whatever I can do that I can express myself, express stories, and do stuff that entertains people. You know, I was never really glued to Halo. I kind of moved on from Halo when I realized Halo was no longer going to work for what I needed. If Minecraft animation somehow became like that, I'd probably move on to whatever else works best.
Interpretive dance.
Sure.
Like
Live
a-
interpretive dancing BPS dances, BPD.
BPD.
PPD.
We have any animations that are not on YouTube? No. Oh, I mean, I've made I've made one on my personal channel for the New Year's Day. We'll get whoever has the dragon egg will get a reward. And the reward's gonna be the dragon egg, I guess.
Yeah. What is your favorite Disney movie?
Lion King.
Yeah,
Hands
probably.
down.
Aladdin.
Probably.
Well,
I was about to say
You're talking
Aladdin.
Aladdin's
core Disney movies or movies that Disney kind of owns,
I think
because then that
core.
opens up way more.
That'd
Yeah,
be
core
Star
I
Disney
think
Wars.
movies
just
that like they
strictly-
released. Yeah, I'd say Lion King.
Yeah.
I actually like Lion King 3 a lot as well.
Oh man, Nerf Flamer, he writes, what is the staff's taste in memes?
What in Question Nation?
Star Wars prequel memes.
Yeah, there's actually a Twitter that's like prequel memes. Not even joking.
Have you ever seen? There's like a glum George Lucas one, where it's like George Lucas, but everything's just like. I gotta see if I can actually find that. I don't know. All the stuff on there is really funny. Tweet like. Let me actually see if I can find it. Keep reading questions while I see if I can quickly find this.
What stuff does it means?
My Twitter's been loading really slow lately. People are asking questions. If you could relay them.
I'm not checking the
Oh, here we go.
Discord.
I found it right away. I think I'm actually. Come on, Twitter.
Oh, there's a lot of questions for
Yes.
me.
Oh, here we
Holy
go.
crap.
Have you settled
What's your
all
favorite
the
food?
applications for Songs of War?
Hold on just a second. There's the Twitter. Hold that question a second. There's the Twitter I was referring to. It's just
Oh,
like
George Lucas.
all the things that never
Sold the
happened.
rights
Fan
for
shooting
Star
first, fan change art. You know, why did I sell Star Wars? I needed 4 million. It was exactly enough to research and build one real rights. There's all these just like weird things.
There's actually a crap ton of questions
Some
for
of
me.
them,
Holy
yeah, there's a
crap.
lot of tweets. Some of them were really. Some of the older ones, you might have ran out of ideas. Some of the old ones back in the day were really funny. What was the question about something?
What?
Me?
Applications
Yeah, something.
Yeah, applications.
for the builders system.
Says, have you settled all the applications for Songs of War?
I've read everything up till earlier today. I'll go through more later today. And I'm gonna kind of close off tomorrow. I mean, which one were you the least interested in? Probably Mystery Warfare.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, really?
Yes.
Mystery Warfare you don't like?
Because Mystery Warfare was supposed to be about a 2.5
I would have
minute
thought it
thing.
would be like Scout's Hacker.
No, Mystery Warfare is supposed to be about 2.5 minutes. It's gonna take place in a lobby. It's just gonna be like the dude breaks out of a vault, starts shooting people with paintball gadgets, it turns into a quick little fight, and then
But it's
like
the
the delivery
beginning
man
of
shows up
something
and ends
epic.
it. Then I was like, oh, let me add in all like the patrons and give them all a gadget. And then each of their little scenes became like a big thing. And then it just kept becoming like, okay, this became this big, huge list of patrons that just one by one, okay, there was their scene, cross out. Okay, next time now I bring in these guys, have them do their thing, and then like a new patron would pledge. I'm like, oh, should I add a new scene for them? And it's like,
Patrons
So
would depledge, and then you'd have to remove their skin.
then patrons would. Then it turns out that was before they had the pledge up front, so people had actually pledged, and then I put them in, and then they actually never paid.
Hey,
So I was like,
Frozilla,
oh.
thanks for following. I
The
appreciate
guy
it.
who's on the jetpack, I don't think ever paid. Why is Dungeon Machu so hard? It's not that hard. A lot of people have beaten that one. It's hard to get even the Silver Idol people have gotten down pretty well. It's
Oh
not
my
that.
Oh,
I haven't actually done the first
What?
one yet.
god.
How do you type attract?
What's happening?
It's a joke. Cause Freeze, just a Guild Wars 2 joke. What's
Oh.
Freeze?
Oh.
How did you meet Eagle Empire? I met him through space.
Oh,
There's a
how
question
do I
there.
meet Eagle Empire? I think we kind of mentioned that earlier. It was kind of through housing. At first, he kind of became. That was like when housing first came out. We were really big on housing. That's before our channel was big at all. Our channel
Yeah.
really hadn't. Our channel hadn't gone anywhere with Minecraft. We were in like the beginning of phase 2, where we didn't know what was going to work, what wouldn't. And as soon as housing came out, we actually kind of were pretty active there. We're like, look, we made a few animations. We made this thing called Farm Hunt and Spider Attack, and that's about all we had. Then I think Skywars came out around then. And then Eagle got pretty active there, and he's hanging out there a lot.
Well,
I
Eagle
also-
was hit around during our Halo days as well.
Yeah, he was around. He wasn't he wasn't that involved with me at
Yeah.
least. And then we had a Skype group that I had where I was kind of teaching some early animator stuff. I'd kind of review their work back like in the very early days. I was trying to see if maybe any of them would be interested in doing animations like we were. Then Eagle was like the only one in there doing anything. He was in that group. He was like making full animations while other people were still like setting up the little scene. So then some of his early animations, like the stare down, some of his early things were pretty good. We're like, wow, why not just try making like a full short? So we did like Electra.
Yeah.
And he made like Elytra, Sky.
Have any of you ever
Sky
fallen
Depth.
asleep in a call on Discord? No.
I have never.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Oh.
have, and I feel like
Oh yeah, I technically have. Yeah.
I wouldn't
I've
be
never fallen
surprised
asleep
though if.
in any weird spot ever. I've pretty much only ever fallen asleep in bed.
Same.
Never fallen asleep
Haven't
anywhere.
lived my brain.
I've fallen asleep in class. A lot.
Well, I kind of like nodded off in class sometimes, but I don't like sleep. Never slept outside.
Yeah.
How do I get in there and where?
Oh, I think he's talking about the
How do I get under there?
this
I
parkour
understand.
thing. I think.
So all of
Yeah,
us stick the only one at the
How,
panel.
how are people getting in? There's some people still in here.
That's what I'm wondering. Like,
See, then these people they're not hacking. They're just
I boarded it off. And
there's some people doing it just a normal glitch way, but I've seen people properly hacking.
um,
I don't know.
what's the latest you've ever stayed up? 2 days.
The latest two semesters in a row, when I was doing the modeling and animation classes before I was the TA for them, on the final project due dates, I stayed up. The projects were due at like 9 a.m., which was like right before the class in the morning. Both those nights, I stayed up till like 8:30 a.m., finished the project, submitted it, and then didn't attend the class on the final day. It was
Oh
like, here's
my
the final
God.
project, I'm going to sleep. I'm missing the last day of class, sorry. And so I never even saw my final project presented in either day.
alright.
It was funny. Are any of you guys hungry at the moment? No, I just had my dinner after the
I just ate.
after
I'm
trivia.
thirsty.
Why did you never put Derp Wars on the BPS channel? We're gonna have songs of Derp, or no, Derps of War.
Terps of War.
Derps of War is gonna become like the part April kind of joke thing after
Oh,
Songs
you
of
should
War.
like make a Songs of War trailer and then make another one, but replace all the characters.
That's kind of yes, that was the joke. We're gonna do, but we want to wait. We want to let some normal songs work out first.
I love how Stig and I are just the only people sitting.
He has
Yeah,
to
makes-
keep moving.
Do you miss doing Halo? There were things I like. There's things I don't like. One thing I did like was the real-time camera movements. I very much, one thing I did pride myself on was my camera work back in the Halo days. I feel like I always had the camera work down really well, and one of the reasons for that is I felt like I was able to physically like move the camera around in real time and get those angles and move along with the action. Whereas now it's just kind of like clicking a point, then moving forward in time and dragging it to a new spot. You don't really like feel it the same way. So that's one thing I kind of miss. Sometimes I also miss a lot of people. A lot of body actors we used to hang out with were a lot of fun because you'd meet the people that would help you film it, and then you kind of get to know those people. And then they kind of like every time we come on to do body acting, they'll show up, and you'd have like your own little memes and jokes as you're body acting that kind of make it fun.
Oh god, Nerf. Do any of you guys own a fidget spinner? What are your opinions on them? They all should burn.
Tori bought me one, but hasn't.
They are
says, yeah, some people are awesome.
I don't have one, and I'll never have one.
They sell them at the spa.
At the spa?
Yeah.
I'm
Are
actually...
you often at the spa?
No, it's not like a massage place. It's like a little food store.
I got you.
There's a company that I am currently working for that's going to be destroying all their fidget spinners, so we're going to get a shipment of about 7,000 of them.
Are you going to have a flamethrower? Please, tell me.
Yes.
Well, whichever way gets rid of them the best, so it's probably acid, honestly.
Oh.
Why would you do that? What's the point of that?
Because if it's filled with lead or is considered unsafe,
why would you destroy the spinners?
Yeah,
because
why would you just...
they're considered unsafe, so you can't sell them anymore.
Ah.
Black plasma spinners. Oh lordy, help me.
So I asked earlier about if I had any clue about Blender when I first used it. I had used Blender way back in the day, like a few years before doing microanimations. But it had changed a lot. The interface changed a lot. I also had done Maya. I'd been pretty experienced in Maya. That's why I used in my school classes. So a lot of my knowledge from Maya kind of carried over. It's just a matter of kind of figuring out the Blender interface and what was different in Blender versus Maya. So I kind of had like a little head start on that.
Maya or Blender?
Do you play like every other? Do you play like every other player on the server, as in getting materials and just casually playing? Oh, no, not in here.
No.
I haven't really played Minecraft normally in like a long. I don't really have time to play like.
We did at first on this version.
Yeah, we did this one for a little while. I also did the very first 3 BPG servers. I did on that one and for a while as well. I made that little house on that. We had like that weird custom world. I had that cool house kind of thing I was doing. But I've never finished anything on Minecraft Survival ever. It's never finished.
Well, it's not really, you can't really finish anything, can you?
Well, I mean, at least like finish the house, get the house all like made and looking nice. It's always like there's all these unfinished rooms and unfinished farms. How do your family react to you becoming animators as a job? I think it's kind of different for everyone. We have pretty different. I kind of wish Sam and Nitrox were here. They've all kind of different reactions.
Yeah.
Mum was like, "Oh, cool. Hey, you can have money now."
What do you pay her?
Like, just rent off the side.
Nerf asks again, how are or were your grades?
For me, it was kind of. I had luckily kind of gradually been doing it at the end of college, and it was right at like the beginning of summer when it started doing very well. So there's like luckily there's a little bit of a period of time where my parents didn't really push me to get a job right away because I had just graduated, and there was only this first summer anyway. So over that summer, luckily it picked up right then enough where I started making enough money where I was like, I'm just gonna keep doing this until it's not.
I was forced to do a pub cleaning job until I literally like went up to my mum and said, "Hey, I'm making."
Yeah, it's kind of what Nitrox had to do.
Yeah.
And Sam has the problem where his parents just don't understand at all. No matter how many times he shows them and proves it to them, his parents do not think it's like a normal job at all. And they kept trying to make him get a job even when he had BPS, which is why he hasn't really made nearly as many animations as
Yeah.
So I'm looking to move out pretty.
Yeah.
Mayday
my parents
asks.
became pretty understanding, honestly.
Yeah. Mayday asks, why did you decide to make BPG and BPS 2 separate channels?
Same reason Backspasm exists.
Well, it's because of what phase 2 was.
Yeah.
Like we tried a lot of
Didn't
stuff.
work on phase 2.
No, that's what I meant. Like, it didn't work.
Yeah, with phase 2, so phase 1 was going back, it's just me doing Halo Mishima. Phase 2 was right after I finished Rise of the Spartans, and I didn't know what was going to be next. I didn't want people waiting like a whole year for the next Mishima. I thought it was going to be really busy, and I thought I wouldn't have time to do anything. So phase 2 was when I started recruiting people. I recruited people like Sam, Nitrox, Thomas, not just yet. Didn't you join a little bit later?
I joined like phase
like,
2.2 or something.
Yeah, it was like a little bit after. But so then we joined them. At that point, we're just doing a little bit of everything. We tried doing gaming on the channel. We tried doing GTA missions. We tried doing Minecraft animations.
Basically killed it.
Yeah, and that basically killed the channel. I mentioned this a lot in the that YouTube successful video. How trying the big variety doesn't help. People just kind of want to see a little bit of a focus. So then once we kind of started doing better on like the cinematics and the animation, we didn't want to mix that with gameplay. Because none of us are really great gameplay people. Like, why not just keep it to like what people subscribe for, like the animations, and then if people want to subscribe to gameplay, we'll have a separate channel where they can just kind of watch gameplay there. That way we can put like whatever we want. We don't have to worry about the quality, because you kind of have a quality to uphold when you're making like good animations people subscribe for. And if you just kind of upload like a gameplay that's kind of sloppily put together, it's kind of like, oh, that was kind of disappointing. So having a separate channel, we can kind of, the people who subscribe are people who just want to see it. How were your grades in school? Tom's?
Awful. They were okay. About average.
Mine were pretty good.
I mean, they deteriorated.
Mine were good. Like, I've been getting...
Everything was like straight A's until college, and then I got like
Actually,
nice. Yeah, I usually am the one that gets A's and B's.
I had I had like a 4-point-something GPA going into college. I had like more. You could get higher than a 4.0 if you had AP classes and you were getting straight A's, which is what I did.
That's
so I went into college with like perfectly straight everything, perfect everything. Got into college, and then there's a few classes that were just I just
not
lost
good.
interest in.
That's just kind of like
that was kind of when I was getting interested in YouTube. I kind of lost interest in a lot of these things.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'd rather just work on these other things. And
yeah, so far I got like a 4 point something.
It's
like
funny
I got
because
4 point. I think it was like 4.125. I really don't know.
It's funny because I used to be like really good at science and then really bad at English. After I finished high school, I got an A in English and like a D in science. I just completely flipped.
I didn't do that good in
What is your darkest secret?
Oh,
lordy.
Pug. The
darkest secret is I'm not actually making songs for war. It's all just
hey, Animal, thanks for following. I appreciate it.
Channel right before it comes out. Never make anything again. Can you state sometimes you remember the fans here and past experiences of Discord or on Minecraft? What?
What?
No, I'm not quite sure. What do you mean by that question?
Is it saying like?
Oh, there is some way to get up over here.
Sometimes do you remember the fans here in past?
Oh yeah, you can just block glitch up here. See, I don't think they're not hacking. They're just block glitching.
Oh, nerf. Can you state the hardships of the quality sunglasses?
It's not hard. Oh, speaking of which, nerf, did I ever see that Gyazo?
I never saw it. I never saw it.
You haven't seen it either? Okay, basically the other day. No, what? You were there.
Oh wait, yeah, the wave.
The one we failed, yeah. We failed the battery. I'll show you later. It's really cool. I thought you were talking
about like something, like I remember you said something about like editing glass or something.
No, I was gonna he hadn't seen. Yeah, nerf, remind me later. I'll just put it in Gilmore's chat now actually, so I can remind you. In a little bit, if you want to do fractals, I can as well.
Well, I'm thinking about going to bed a little bit afterwards.
I'll do some fractals with whoever's up.
Tired.
Yeah, so am I.
Chef Calums.
Chef Calums.
It's 3 AM here, so.
What are you going to do when Minecraft? We should answer that one a moment ago. Biggest word you know.
Supercalifragilistic. I was about to say.
What was your worst encounter with a fan?
Oh.
That guy who trolled us about an hour ago.
No, my worst encounter with a fan was I was putting a t-shirt on and my hands went up to put the t-shirt on and they hit the ceiling fan. My knuckles went. Because I'm 6'1", so when I raise my hand, it touches the ceiling.
Yeah, you're like super tall.
And then yeah, when you put your shirt on, you know how you reach up to like, you know, you reach out and you pull it down over you. And
Yeah.
when I reached up and the ceiling fan was on, and I reached my hand into the fan. And
Ow, like, God.
yeah.
Cut your hand
It's a
off.
freaking
I'm actually,
long
I only
arms.
have 2 fingers on my right hand because I got cut off. I can't use my WASD. I can only do W. I can only move straight forward. I have to turn my mouse.
It's a good way of living.
Yeah. How do you react to the first group of people hitting $1 million? Oh, like in-game money? I didn't really. My reaction was, dang it, I didn't watch the money balancing enough. Because the way I'd hoped that wouldn't have ever really happened. I'm gonna actually have a little beta of the new server where we're gonna like encourage people to exploit it and glitch it and find out these ways to get money. So we're gonna try to find.
Not hacking.
We want the money to not be like, just here's the one way to make ungodly amounts of money and everything else is kind of useless, and you end up with like $1 million.
Cough, cough, cough. Dungeon tutorial.
Dungeon tutorial is not that much money, is it?
I mean, if you're a mod.
Oh, well, yeah, so you can rerun it constantly.
Yeah.
But that's
$4 grand.
Are the ores upside down? Only in Don't Touch when he reversed it. Or the ones in Songs of War that you looked at because you looked at them and they messed up. Why isn't Sam and Nitrox on the stream?
Sam's sleeping. Nitrox
He's
is
asleep?
sleeping.
Nitrox, I'm not sure.
Question, like, okay, so do you have any mini games that you want to animate?
Again.
He's gonna do murder. I'm kind of done with mini games for the most part. I'm really just wanting to start in Songs of War, but I'm just kind of working on Animation Life in the meantime because it's kind of the closest thing to do.
That means more Skywars.
The biggest question that I actually have, this is actually a question that I have, is that what will you be doing after Guild War? Or not Guild. I was reading the chat. Songs of War. What will you be doing after?
We'll see what happens when we get there.
Okay.
I mean, Songs of War is going to carry me for a very long time.
Yeah.
This YouTube channel is going to be very different in that by the time that's over. Not sure where I'm going to be. Hopefully I'm not like washed up on a ditch and can't die.
Just washed up on a
run out of money and can't afford the flight back and become.
Okay, so people are now asking what is Songs of War going to be about.
Stuff.
It's hard to describe, yeah.
The best way to describe it, it's fantasy.
Yeah, it's a fantasy. If you enjoy things, I always mention it's like if you combine Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, Skyrim.
Game of Thrones.
It's practically you take almost all of the elements from like these epic fantasy films and even video games, and you just combine it together, and it's like this. And I know from experience because I've written, I've edited script and all that, and it is something that is pretty amazing. Like, not even joking, like the lore, it's just. Oh.
Yeah, we're trying to give it that same kind of big cinematic feel that these other big shows and stuff have, but with Minecraft. So my goal is to make it like my old stuff. Yes, it's in Minecraft.
It is going to be in Minecraft.
But for me, it's like, I don't care. So, Blacking Dead's getting 20 million views soon, and that's awesome. I could make Blacking Dead every couple of weeks, maybe, and, become a millionaire by the time I'm 30 or something. But for me, I always like being involved in the creation of some big story or universe, something that like the fans really get invested in, they get interested in. Things that they'll dress up as the skins and the characters, they'll make fan art, they'll be excited for the next episode, they'll be wondering what's going to happen to the characters. That's the thing because for me, those are the kind of movies I enjoy. I enjoy getting into Ruby, wondering like, is this character gonna kill this Grimm, or is this Grimm gonna kill the character next episode? I'm about to find out. I can't wait. So you talk to all your friends about it, you see what they think. So I like kind of being involved in those, creating those kind of things to.
Yeah, that's how I am as well, to be honest. Is that I'm the one that, and I actually have, in a way, I'm planning on a book. I'm gonna actually be writing a book.
Do Songs of War book. Songs of War.
Well, it's gonna be. I mean, I'm gonna have to start working on it.
Someone's asking something about a pet peeve.
Pet peeve.
Probably have a lot of them, honestly.
I have a lot.
I feel like I have a lot of. when my dog like chews and scratches herself, that gets sometimes annoying. I kind of relate to that. When people are eating with their mouth open really loud, but they're eating more specifically when they're eating so much and so fast that they don't have time to breathe, So you hear them like short
Oh
on breath.
god, so like
You hear them like, you hear like.
it's like calm down.
That's
Ew, no.
that's a pet peeve I have with myself, but more like if I'm like playing something or recording something, and then I hear myself. Like,
You
as
know
I'm about
what
to
I
press
also, you know what I really hate? Snoring. I am sorry when I hear someone snoring, like not even joking. When I hear someone snoring, I legit throw a pillow. Sometimes I'll do that, like with my sister, that's like, you know, outside, she's snoring or something. I throw like a pillow. Like shut up.
I'd say that, but they can't. No one.
Sam's not working wherever that's Nitrox is. Oh, let me actually. I'll mention that as a little sneak peek. One thing is you might have, if you've been a Redstone or above patron, you might have been following the stuff in the last weekly update I mentioned about how we're working on something for 1 million. One of the things we want to do for 1 million is kind of, I think it was more Nitrox's idea. We wanted to kind of, for what was it, 500,000 subscribers? We did the stream. We also had the animation. Sorry, we had the video, which was like highlight of pretty much all of our animations that went back for the last since the beginning. So we were like, oh, we could probably do that again for 1 million. But just doing like, oh, we've already seen all those. We're like, how to make it different. Nitrox was like, why not do a little sneak peek of everything going forward? Yeah. So not, like, we don't obviously have actual footage of the things we're working on because we haven't animated them yet. But we can still kind of create like a unique little separate
thing saying like it's coming. Like, you know what I mean?
So yeah, so Nitrox for the last like months has been working on his little teaser for the Mech Warrior animated thing. Sam will be working on a little Derelict teaser. For his thing. And I'm hoping to get a Songs of War teaser out, although I'm kind of unsure because I really, really want Songs of War to get like there's so much cool stuff about Songs of War and so much gone into it. I don't want to like rush out a teaser that's not ready and then have it not.
Well, maybe like a sneak peek in a way of. I'm trying to think, like if you had to do like
I kind of know what I'd do. I just
maybe like a sneak peek, almost in a way.
If only we had like a musician who could make like a cool kind of teaser trailery kind of thing.
Yeah.
That would
for what?
Back to work, slave.
Oh look, it's.
Yeah, I have an idea. For me, it's just a matter of between Animation Life, finishing Animation Life 2, working on the Songs of War building. I'm not sure if I'm also gonna have time to then put together a Songs of War trailer. I mean, we're only 75,000 subscribers away. That's maybe like 2 months. I have to get started on that like really soon.
We
I
have
still think though that maybe like not like showing like the entire world in like a teaser, but just like showing maybe like one of the characters, like maybe like.
Could literally only be like one massive shot, one long shot.
My idea for it wasn't gonna be one shot. It was actually gonna be a whole lot of shots. It's gonna be like one shot of a lot of the different factions. I have some interesting. I want to make the teaser interesting. I don't want it just to be like.
To make it like make you hyped up to actually.
Yeah, exactly. I want to get you the hype. I want to kind of in that one teaser you should be able to start getting a little bit of a feel for what it's going to be about. I want people to get the scale of it, to see that it's not just like one story. It's actually Songs of War is actually a lot of different stories. Kind of it's like 3 different stories at least. Kind of splits off even more later on, but
it's more than 3.
Yeah, well, the season 1 was 3, season 2 was kind of 4.
Yeah.
So I want to kind of get that across right away in like a first teaser. So I'll see if I can do it.
Yeah.
If not, I can put something smaller together. I just don't want to do something that like unhypes for Songs of War. If it's not ready, but it's not good quality, I'd rather not do it.
Yeah, because then people might be like, never mind.
I would much rather be very cold because you can just put on like a jacket or a hoodie or a blanket. But if you're very hot, there's almost nothing you can do, which is why I don't like Dota.
I'd much rather be cold.
Yeah. How important are Asians to your lives, Lenny?
Not in the slightest bit important whatsoever.
They're pretty important, Lenny Face. It's pretty high on the priority of things, Lenny Face.
How much
wonder why they're moving to Canada, the top of their list.
Yeah, the top of our list for reasons.
Western Canada, specifically.
Forget food locations, forget apartment locations.
Prices and economy.
Just say more
Asian. How excited are you for EV? I don't know what EV is.
EV.
New render engine.
Is that like the one up from Cycles?
No, I think it's just.
It's that robot from Wally.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Like
Why?
I'm gonna kind of wrap this up in a bit, and then see if some people want to do some fractals in a little bit. So,
Korsakoff 3.
Nerflamer asks, what is your favorite Pokemon?
I don't play Pokemon.
Ninetales.
Charizard.
So
No.
final.
No, not Charizard.
As we kind of wrap things up.
Pokemon.
Thank everyone for coming out to the thing. So we didn't really have any like, big setting fun events. It's more of just kind of a chance to kind of talk to everyone and have the things like the Q&A is honestly one of the more main things because it's more of just to talk to everyone.
Yeah.
Of the community.
Ask
Hope you had fun.
questions.
We usually do this kind of every so often, so I'll probably do it again next year.
Yeah, that'd be good. Next year.
Yeah, every day 2018.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be having any events or anything fun until 2018.
Yeah.
No more fun.
No
until
animations.
Just,
deleting
again,
the Discord.
thank you to all the patrons who have kind of pledged when we're doing things like the server move and the server upgrades and stuff. Those are always the times where it's like, even becoming a cold patron, if just 2 or 3 people became a cold patron, that like pays for like the server, for like the next server. Actually, we're hoping to have the IP be like a custom IP, not like beastmc.blackplasma.net kind of thing. So and in order to afford that kind of those little things, even though it's only like $2 or $3 a month, having 2 or 3 cold owners that afford that's really helpful. Also, if you're interested in render farming, you want to kind of DM me about render farming as long as you have a high-end graphics card, and you can do those little render farm tests. And you've shown me what your render times are. We'll need help render farming. There's actually I have a few Animation Life 2 scenes on the render farm. As long as you like swear loyalty that you're not going to share those and redistribute them and share spoilers, because they have obviously the full scenes of all our upcoming animations. Someone actually posted like on the pictures in there and got kind of mad at it. And I was like, come on.
Actually, but I need to help out with the render farming.
Yeah, if you got a good GPU, help out. Currently there's a few
70.
slots on there right now. I just added right before.
Yes, Dino, you don't have a
I think
choice.
it's actually during the talent shows when I finished up that scene guy on the render farm, which is what I was finishing up. So yeah, like the part 6 leak, that was different. That was the draft.
Yeah. What the heck?
Oh, I remember that.
The Rise of Spartans part 6 draft leak. Big drama back then.
Oh yeah.
All the people that saw it early. And then finally, if people are ever interested in playing Guild Wars and stuff, I'm usually that's kind of the game I've been playing lately. We cycle around different games.
Rip TF2.
Yeah, we're
TF2.
playing more TF2 again. If people come back. TF2 is one of those games that's come in waves. It came and it went away for a bit, then it came back. Same with GTA, same thing.
But he lost.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, GTA also took a break. But Guild Wars is something we've definitely been doing a lot. I don't really play that much Minecraft. Not a
Not a Halo Reach.
There's no age requirement for voice acting as long as your voice sounds good. I don't care. I've actually had some really young people that John Michael Villagomez, he started voice acting when he was really young. He had a really good voice from the beginning. It was ridiculous. He was like born ready to voice act. His first word was, "Hey mom, I'm ready to voice act."
Hey mom, I'm Lucas
Great. Archangel. Yeah, I'm really hoping he'll be a Songs of War voice actor. Mother, this crib is mine.
Give me that baby bottle.
It's an old god.
It's an older model.
The crib is ready, but not for you.
The crib is ready. He's great. So, yeah, that's it. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm going to take a break and probably quietly play some fractals because my voice is starting to kill me. Because I've been talking since the trivia, like 8 hours ago. Well, the trivia was at 5. Yeah, I've been having about 5 hours of talking. My throat's starting to kill me now. Turning into Batman. Where is he? Where is he? Where's the fractals? Where are the fractals? So, see you all around everyone.
Alright, everyone get banned.
I hope you're excited for upcoming animations and stuff. If you ever considered also if you've actually been considering, back to patrons, if you've been considering becoming an Emerald at any point, I know a lot of people have been like, oh, maybe I'll become Emerald for a month to have a skin. Coming up like this month, next month, and August, those 3 months, if you're a Redstone donor, you'll know why. Or actually even Cole, you'll know why. We have animations planned coming out almost every single week from now all the way until like October. we have an animation almost every single. If the schedule goes according to plan, we have a Saturday animation coming out almost every single Saturday. There's like Redstone just saying it in the weekly updates. You would have seen in the weekly updates where I posted something about the schedule. No, so I'm saying if anyone wants to become Emerald or Diamond or have like your name in like the actual animations, these next 3 months would be like the best months all the way up until, you know, next summer. If you ever considered it, if you ever saved up a little money, this would be one of the best times. And I'm gonna head off, drink a bunch of water,
Same.
do some fractals,
same.
and have a good
I'm gonna
sleep.
sign off as
Animation
well.
life too. So, see ya, everyone.
See you
Bye.
later,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
What?